Hit it. This thing don't never want to go straight. Never, never. We back, baby. Back on the grind. Got some good topics for the week for y'all. Got some good topics for y'all for the week. Let's go. Hey, we got to talk about this, man. Cause it don't make no sense, man. This don't make no sense. But most definitely, I got some good topic. Wait till tomorrow's topic, man. I got something for sure. I'm about to get somewhere with this stuff. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this is a problem, man, and it's something that's like it's like we know what's going on here, but we don't want to speak about it. But I'm the guy for that. You know what I'm saying? I will go ahead and do it. I'll go ahead and talk about the things people don't want to talk about because it don't make no sense at all. It don't. All of a sudden, we best as a friend as soon as somebody else mess with us. Ain't that something, right? What topic is that? Above my you talking about for tomorrow or today? That's above my head. That's a topic. You know what I'm saying? What's the deal, Gentlemen's Club? I see you up in here, my brother. Yeah, man. We about to get somewhere, man. Cause you know a lot of things, but I be noticing though, like people be knowing stuff be going down, right? They know stuff go down. We only going through this because of that, and you know what I'm saying? But it's like you aware of it, but then you not doing nothing about it. You're not doing nothing about it to oppose it. So it's like that means you like it at the same time too. That's what's weird. How could you speak on something you know? Oh, we only like this because they doing this to us or something like that. Like, bro, today, we talking about today, right? What is your excuse today? Why you choose? You know what I'm saying? It's just it's funny to me, man. But let's go ahead. I'm gonna pop in the topic, man. I said I'm gonna start my topic just soon, man, because I don't be liking how my YouTube videos be looking. They be starting off me quiet and stuff. So I'm just gonna jump on into it, man. I would have been interested I would have been interested to talk about. If I'm reading that wrong, he said, "Oh, you talking about the I might be tripping. I don't know. It might be me, but I'm gonna go ahead and jump into it, man, because it's crazy, bro. Like literally, I would interest talking about it. Oh yeah, for sure. Yes. Yeah, man, this got to get talked about. Like I can't. This is what I do though. I literally talk about stuff that just people be trying to brush under the rug and act like they don't know what's going on and stuff, or people that be scared to talk about different things. So I just go ahead and speak on it. Cause I can't wait till tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm got something super juicy though. That's gonna shake some feathers tomorrow, you know. I'm more excited about tomorrow's one than today. But today though, for real, this is wild, man. Why is it that way, man? The only time we unite or we act like we're best friends is when another whole race got to mess with us. They got to either do something violent to us, right? You know what I'm saying? They got to talk to us wrong. If it's a video that come out like, oh man, you a different color from me. So now let's unite and jump them now. You know what I'm saying? This is crazy, bro. Also, cannot wait to put out tonight's topic of SB. You got me on that. I don't know what that means, but you got me on it. SB and 2 like I see the Michael Jordan numbers. Like that. But yeah, man, it's wild, man, bro. Cause like why do it take that, man? And then when it dimmed down, man, when it dimmed down, when the incident stopped happening, all that stuff, then here we go back again. We back at each other's necks, and who is you? Get into it with a simple disagreement. Oh, you ain't brought up like me. What you doing in my hood and all that stuff. But all the hoods want to come together though. Soon as another race mess with us, ain't that something? It's just that junk silly and that junk. Nobody don't be seeing this too. I don't know if they see it and they just want to be blind to it. They just I don't know what it is. Or is that trauma bond just that is that deep, right? That we don't see what's really going on. It's weird. Because all it takes is simple disrespect with one another, right? And we take each other out, but we ain't marching over that stuff, is we? Is we? That's crazy. It's wild. It's just go on the news, you know what I'm saying? And it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? Oh, that's just normal stuff, you know what I'm saying? Dudes talking slick in the hood and it's crazy, just simple stuff. But let it be another guy of another color do the same thing, slap one black guy on his back, right? It just be the simplest thing. You gave him a pat on the, what did you touch him like that before? Let's go ahead and march now. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. This junk be crazy. This junk is wild, and this junk is sad. This junk is kind of sad though. Like, why do it take another race or somebody that's not like us, right, to do something to us for us to sit here and literally act like we just was the perfect match all of a sudden? You know what I'm saying? This, oh my gosh, and I be seeing why that. I don't even know how this, but this junk is annoying, bro. It's annoying. It's crazy that nobody is seeing this. What's going on? You know, it even be like that. We can see how people act on the apps and stuff. You know what was funny? This is another thing I had seen. Remember, everybody was talking about the mother and the mother with the son and the dude that and everybody split up apart, don't like each other. All the black people stop liking each other on that too. Oh, you think this way? Oh, you think this way? How they both accountable? No, neither one of them accountable. The mama, I would have did this. Okay, right. So he had that. Then I seen another video, right? Then I seen it. It was, but I forgot she's a different color, right? So it was a YT lady getting beat up by two YT men. I ain't see nobody do no storm on that. They ain't make no live about that, did they? And that's way worse. Oh, guess what? That's just YT problems. Don't worry about that. It's just, you know, there's nothing to get mad over. You know what I'm saying? That's only when it's dealing with us. You know what I'm saying? When it's us, that's when it's a problem. This junk is wild, bro. Like, we don't be this. There's no way we can be like this, bro. It's no way we don't see the bigger picture. It's no way that we make all these excuses why we are the way we are. We say that they set us up. They put the liquor stores at every corner so we drink like this. They put the drugs inside here. So now we know this right now. That's what's irritating me is we know all this stuff now, right? And we continue to make an excuse, and we're still buying it. We're still contributing to the situation. So when is we gonna actually take accountability for what we doing? Like, I don't understand it. Like, how many times we gonna keep using the same exact excuse, and we know why it's happening if we so-called supposed to be woke, right? This woke situation. You gotta be woke. You know they're setting us up and all this stuff or whatever. Like, I really don't understand what's going on. This young is weird to me. How long we gonna keep on with these excuses? You know what I'm saying? This junk is, bro. It's a headache. This junk is literally a headache. But I have to talk about this, man, because I've been saying this literally before I even started doing these lives. And the thing is, I spoke on anything, man. I really don't care. Even get to a point, they be like, "Oh, you must be a coon or something like this," because I'm not trying to be right. Because I don't agree with everything every color do, or if it's color that's against my, whatever it is. I feel wrong is wrong, right is right, no matter what the color is, what your age is, if you my family, anything. I'm not about to just sit here and join some stuff just because this, and I got a live that I'm about to do on this loyalty thing too, man. I can't wait to talk about that too, because this junk is wild. That's another part of our problems too, right? But I'm going to talk about that somewhere. That might be Friday. I got so many topics lined up for y'all for real. But this junk, I guess I chill, but what's the deal, gentleman, man? Thanks for coming through, my brother.
I appreciate you having me there, man. First off, good evening. Yeah, I wanted to catch up on what you was talking about, like
Mm-hmm.
why people got worried about what us black men got going on in our lives. You know what I'm saying? And if we was dating outside of our race, and that makes us, every man happy, then that's cool by me. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather to support the men to be happy than going against him. Rather going against him, because he don't want to date a black woman. And then it's been talking about that been decades, man. It's just
Mm-hmm.
like love doesn't have no color. First off, I didn't see black women married to an Asian man, Asian American. I didn't see Asian Americans with black women, and I didn't see white men with black American women. We don't be saying nothing. We just pretty much follow our purpose and do what we gonna do. So, and for them traveling overseas and doing what they doing, we ain't worried about that at all. We not. I mean, it's the biggest. See, that's the reason why I don't know. I don't want to talk about that. Most guys that travel don't want to talk about that in the first place. Why? Because if I mention, what if I was dating a black, women from black friend. For like technically, hypothetically, if I was like letting these sisters know in America in my community, 60% of black women would not care, because as long as she get a pass because she's black. First off, first off, second of all, you know what I'm saying, they give her a pass because it's. I heard too many black women talk about colonizing this and that. I really don't care, because you got too many. A lot of the truth is, a lot of brothers gonna go find love somewhere else, and then whether it's an interracial child or an interracial relationship, shoot. I look at every black man they dated outside of their race. They still say black love. Why? Because you need the black man in your life.
Mm-hmm.
If every woman, millions of women. I'm talking about trillions of women wanting to be with us.
Mm-hmm.
Trillions. So
You
every
know what's
man
funny
has the
though about
option.
that though? Because we only
Yes,
go as
sir.
far as the skin color though, and that's why I be having that. But even though I'm gonna slow down on those because I'm gonna start talking about other things on Saturday too. But I'm gonna keep that grudges and forgiveness. But I usually talk about the race
Yeah,
and
I mean,
ethnicity, background, blood, and I think majority of us little do people know that we are more mixed than what they think because we only go on the color of our skin and all that stuff, and it's like we be like, we want to keep all the black together and stuff, don't mix and all this stuff. But I think we mix by now. You know what I'm saying? We got a bunch of stuff in it. Because it's no way that we are pure and it's been okay. People be like, oh, I went to my ancestors. We went this far back. Okay, so you probably went as far as back as 500-600 years, but this been around for thousands of years. And right now we in 2023 AC, right? I mean, yeah, AC, right? So you know what I'm saying? That's if people even, but it's just funny to me because it's like, no, you really think ain't nobody tampered with anything but between that time? And I'm just trying to get people to know, like, no, it's a bigger picture than what we see what's going on. We only going with through America's situation. There was so much stuff that went on, but we just trying to tie everything into America, like America was the only place where I wonder if there was such thing as Pangea too. I wonder, but it's just weird though. But I'm just saying, like the fact, what I'm getting to is just like we be arguing and going through all type of stuff over stuff we're not even concrete on. We just going off beliefs on all type of stuff. That's all we doing. That y'all just crazy though. That's why I
well, the
let people
truth
do
is,
what they do. Like you said, love is love.
yeah, love is love, my brother. And I'm gonna let you know, you as a gentleman, man. I'm gonna tell you like this: women can have all the options they can want, but we have options too. So, if anybody wanted to talk about every man wants to be happy, because I want to see my brothers be happy and doing very good for themselves, and rather than caught up in between a toxic relationship and thug love type of bull crap, that I'm over the generation that thugs. Young men. Young thugs need to be turned to gentlemen.
hmm What's the deal, Queen? But yeah, man. But like I said, with this. with this right here, this is the and that is, you know what I'm saying, what you talking about is also part of the problem too. It's like we be acting like we for each other and we not at the same time. It's just so weird. Like we want to pick and choose. We got like selective, like, oh, now we're going to take up each other. Now we're going. It's like we don't even see, like, if we care about each other so much, you would think we would try to, and that's the main thing. You would think we would try to be more forgiving of one another, right? That's why I talk about every other Saturday. But I'm like, you would think we'd be more forgiving because we know we're trying our best to be to unite, right? The so-called unite. We gotta worry about the black people first. We gotta connect by home and all this stuff. We doing a fine job at that, is we? You know what I'm saying? Is we doing a fine job? We must be, because all it do is take somebody to step on our toe, our own kind. We not even cool with our own family, let alone you trying to reunite with a stranger because their skin is black. You know what I'm saying? This junk it's wild, and it's sad. I be seeing what this word that stereotype they be making about us being ignorant, dog. It's sad. It seems like we get digging deep into it. I don't even want to admit it like that, but it's just crazy. The more that I don't woke up in this situation to see what's going on. It's like, how nobody else not seeing this? Like, it's crazy, and we just be getting mad, go against each other, so somebody think different. You know, all of a sudden, it's like, bro, it's like, do we want to be stuck in this same little tunnel? You know what I'm saying? We want to be stuck in the same. I don't know. Like, how nobody else seeing this? I don't understand it. It don't make sense. This don't. What's the deal? 60 and bless. What's the deal?
Hey,
Welcome to
how
the
are
live,
you?
man. Welcome to the live. First time seeing you. How you feel about the topic, man? I hope you see what's going on, man. I've been seeing it since I was a little kid. I decided to speak on it now.
You know what though? She got something to say because she's in the involved, used to be involved in a racial relationship, and I
Mm.
know 60 and Bless got everything to tell you. So I'm gonna let her take it to the floor.
Gentlemen, I feel like you just threw me under the bus and it was
I'm not
going
throwing
90
you under
miles
the
an
bus,
hour.
man. I'm saying like you saving black love at least. You know what I'm saying? At least you colonize as your, I mean for as your I mean for as your like for as the race and everything like that. Especially with the outside of your race. I think you still saving black love. So
Oh yes, most definitely. I'm for
both
my
ways,
race.
whether between a man or a woman, I'd rather congratulate that because not only you colonized the baby, but hey, we still have more coming. And I'm so happy, and I'm so happy for your life's journey of saving black love, and I really appreciate 60 and Bless. I'll be live tonight, so I'll be sticking around and talk about this. So take it to the floor.
Okay. I came in on what the end of what the young man was saying. What's your name, young man? Or laugh
Laugh
or
or learn, Kev.
okay, Mr. Kev, how are you doing, sir?
I'm good as always, man. Every day I wake up, man. Blessed.
Okay, so is this the topic? Why is the only time we unite is when other races do something to us?
Yes.
Um, I, to be honest, I I haven't seen us unite. Now
Well,
let
let me
me
just
tell
do
you
it. This is
why.
my
Let-
little. I'm just saying,
let-
in a way. Let me put it this way. I'm just saying, the time we want to speak up and take up for one another, right? As soon as
right,
somebody unalive one of us, those a different color. Oh, let's get it. All this, go right and all this stuff. Now we want to do that now, but we be
right.
unaliving
But
each other every single day.
here's okay. I can only go by what I see where I live.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
when George Floyd got unalive, I watch. So I live in Wisconsin, but I visit Minnesota quite a bit, which is next door. I watch these people literally in their own neighborhoods with their own black businesses destroy their black businesses. They
Mm.
busted out windows, they raided these places, they looted, they beat up the owners. I mean, I watched them. There were, and my son at that time was 16, 15, 16, and he was like, "Mama, can we just leave? Do we have to be here? Well, I because there's no black hairdressers up here, I have to go all the way to the cities to get my dreads twisted, right? So I'm like, as soon as I get my hair done, my kid was not used to seeing that. He was not used to that violence, and it just disturbed him so bad that black people are tearing up their own neighborhoods. So I have not seen black people unite. I am sorry, I have not. I've seen them destroy each other. Even when I was born and raised in Detroit,
Detroit?
yes, boy, I left in I was born in 1962 and left in 1999. And rarely did I see black people stand united. Rarely.
Yeah, we fight over streets up here. Stupid junk.
Right. And so up here where I'm at, and it's a total difference. So I live in a predominantly white area. Granted, I didn't do it on purpose. I found a piece of property. I liked it. I bought it. I looked for the particular things that most homeowners look for. Does the internet work? Where's the school in the country wise, meaning is my kid gonna get a good education or just a ghetto school, whatever, that kind of shit. I totally lost perspective on who lives around me. But I think I lost that perspective because I bought property in the country, right? So I have no neighbors. My closest neighbor is 57 acres away. And it's only me and him on this whole block, period. So I didn't think about that. But I will say this. As time has progressed, I've met females up here and males alike that have my back. And how do I know this? The first time I was in the park concert, which is free, and somebody was throwing popcorn at my head, and the three white girls that I went with, that I got invited to go to this thing with, I'll never forget Randy. That's her name, one of them. And Randy, somebody hit her with the popcorn too. And she stands up and she turns around and she faced the crowd and she said, "Whoever's fucking throwing this popcorn at my friend, you better stop because I'll whoop your ass." Somebody yelled back some racist shit. These three white girls ran up them bleachers like it was nobody business. They had my back. That was no drama there. I went to run too, and they was like, we got this. We got this. So I've had people of the opposite color protect me from racial craziness. I have 7 biracial children on this earth, and they range in all kinds of colors. So I just don't. I've seen nothing but black people turn on each other. I've tried to pull my cousins over here with me. They're saying that the ghettos in Detroit, their landlords want top dollar, but they're getting raggedy property. I say, come up here, right? Come up here. Even on my property, I have 4 starter homes. They're tiny homes, but they're starter homes. Okay? Come up here, build your wealth. The jobs are paying good up here. My kid is 18 and he's making $27 an hour, and that's a factory job. But what I get is, why can't you come down here into our system and bring your business back to Detroit? Because I know it will be destroyed. Because I've seen what we do as a people. I've seen what my family has done to each other, my uncles, my aunts, my cousins. So maybe necessarily your topic does not necessarily fit me, because I have watched us destroy each other over the years. We try to take 2 steps forward and we're getting dragged 4 steps backwards by our own people. I watched a young brother open. I've been following this young man because he was a friend of our family's with me growing up, and he's in his 40s now. He tried to open a charter school for black young men in Detroit, and he got fought by everybody and it was his own people. Why can't we have a school that teaches black young men how to dress nice like gentlemen does, and looks like you do, with nice clothes and a belt and looking casual, haircut, learn if they got facial hair, teach them how to trim. Why can't we have that? Why do we want our sons looking like thugs with their pants sagging? Why would any black parent that this young man says can come there absolutely free? Why would you fight that? So I'm sorry, I can't say how we unite. I say the ghetto ass people gonna unite because they want something to fight about anyway. They're angry. They're angry about everything.
I just said.
But when you're angry because you're not making the better choices. Today I had a conversation in somebody's live. They said, are black people stagnant? Why can't we get a leg up? Well, when I got my chance to speak, we can't get a leg up because we don't want to get educated. We can't get a leg up because we're always looking for the shortcuts. We can't get a leg up because we don't want to change our behavior. And how we change that behavior is how we take a look at ourselves. Like that young man that I used as an example. Young men, hey, you can pass a job interview, but you can't pass it with your pants sagging and you got your phone in your face. He wants to teach them morals and values and principles, but their mamas are up in arms. Why? Why would you want your son to stay a drug slinger? Why would you want your son not to be educated on how not to impregnate little girls? But yet they want to say this guy is grooming them to be pedos. So they can't even get his brother. He explains to them, this is why I want to help your sons. I want to teach them how not to become baby daddies. I want to teach them that they can go to college, that they can learn a trade. But these black women have turned on this young man and said he wants to utilize their sons for something sexual, and it's not. So that tells me that our community is not ready for change. And the few that are, the ones that we have seen, they don't stay in the ghetto. They get out as fast as they can and they disassociate themselves because they want better for them. They want better for their children. And then the ones that are left behind want to say, oh, you want to be white, or you think you better than us. Okay.
That's it.
It is. My own
Can't do
children,
anything. You got to
my
stay poor in order to stay
exactly. They want you to be in that same barrel
stay
of crabs
miserable.
with them. If a crab tries to get to the top and it gets its claws over the edge, top of that barrel, them other crabs, and they gonna band together to pull that crab down. You gotta be down here with us, buddy. My own daughter, I realize that she uses it, or she thinks she uses it as a weapon, but it's no weapon. All it does is make me dig my heels in deeper. I have a business. I've had it since 2010. So she calls, she wants to borrow money. I tell her no. And she says, you think you're tough, you're hot shit. And I says, why is that? And she says, you're the only Oreo up there with all those Keeblers. And so you think you're better than us. No, I don't think I'm better than you. Because if you walked through this door and you told me you were hungry, I will feed you. If you needed furniture, clothing, or toys, or whatever, I will give them to you free of charge because I run a free thrift store as well. It doesn't matter what color you are. This is my calling. This is what's on my heart to do. But I will not let you browbeat me into submission to, one, give you money, and two, try to make me feel less than. I owe nobody nothing except me. And when black people can start to realize that the only person they owe anything to is themselves to better themselves,
Right.
then life will be a whole lot better. But the problem is, we give two fucks about what somebody else thinks. And you have no
Right.
idea of how many times in my life have I had somebody say to me, that's why you ain't got no this, that, or the other. Because you don't give a fuck. You absolutely right. Because I don't give a fuck. Until you start paying my mortgage, until you put food on my table and clothes on my back, I don't give a flying fuck what you think. I am not trying to keep up with the Joneses, the Smiths, nor the Taylors. None of them. I'm doing me, what I can afford, and how I can afford it. That's just the way of the world for me, sweetie.
Yeah, I feel you, and I understand everything you're saying too. It's sad that it gotta be like that. I feel like it be mainly our own kind. Like I think really with this, even with this gender war thing, I think we the main ones pushing it out for real. From what I feel, you know what I'm saying? I
It
think we the only
is.
ones really arguing that much, but maybe I gotta look somewhere else. I might be wrong, you know what I'm saying? But all I see, we can't even get along with that. Oh, now we got the new groups out now. I don't want to talk about them. They even the same type as us, and we can't get along with them. We can't. I don't get like we talk. That's what I say. It is. I'm trying my best because it's junk. It's crazy. It's sad. It's sad.
But the
It's more
thing
sad
is,
than
that's
anything.
what you need to address, in my opinion. I am not telling you what to push your agenda on your platform. But you're saying, why do we unite when someone is doing something to us? The truth of the matter is, honey, how many videos have you seen live on the news where we are doing shit or somebody else is doing shit and none of us are stepping up to the plate? Period. So, in
Mm.
my opinion, you're not going to get the answer you're seeking here. Unless somebody's trying to cater to you, because the reality is what I see is what I see, and we ain't helping each other. I watched videos. I got Instagram, and it saddened me. I didn't even know the people, but I watched a group of white boys chase a black kid
Mhm.
through a neighborhood. The kid took all the shortcuts he knew because they're following him on CCTV, and the police put this out there. And so once he got into the area where he felt safe, the black kids, they're not kids, they're 18, 19, 20, that they literally shoved him out into the street for the white boys to stomp him. And all they did was videotape that. And those videos went viral. You gave up a brother that ran from the white boys, and y'all let these people whoop his ass in your territory, in your neighborhood, and y'all did not dial 911. Y'all videotaped it. Y'all put it on social media. And I think every last one of y'all fuckers that did that should go to jail because you contributed to that man being hurt.
My
Mm.
goodness. Can I
Fa-
speak?
Favorite, what's the deal? Welcome to the live.
I'm trying to get my earbuds in. I was sitting outside. Hope y'all didn't hear all the rain. But when you think about what this young lady just said, and I just joined the conversation, so I got to throw my 2 cents in. I'm a 60s baby. So
So
I
am
came.
I.
Okay, so we time. Not really. Because the only difference is it's televised now. Now, I will say we had a form of community. And I'm gonna go down, I might go down that rabbit hole. Here's what I have to say. If you don't know our history, and our history, a big part of our history is us selling us for chattel slavery, for slavery, for
Amen.
servitude, because I have to believe that people who look like us didn't know. So if you think about history, when we were sold into slavery, And if you you can, I mean, there's a great movie. It's on Tubi. It's called Book of Negroes. It shows a lot of that history, and
Mm-hmm.
that's actually a book that shows a lot of that history. Or Roots shows that. So if you think about our history, we can't look at people with the same skin color and think that we are all the same, because we're not. Because there's people who sold people who look like us into slavery or servitude or whatever they thought that was. Because millions of us came from the continent of Africa that are here today. Some of us were already here, but some of us came over on ships. So when you see young men like the black guy who was killed in the South, I can't, so many
Unalive.
of this happens, but by black cops, just beaten, and it was caught on TV, and they're all going to court now. You got to look at the spirit of that person. That's what I believe. That though they came from descendants of people who sold us into slavery for a piece of fabric or for some nicotine or for whatever the Europeans was trading us for.
Yes, ma'am.
So if you go back to if you don't know that history and these kids running around that doing exactly what you just said don't know that history because it wasn't taught to us. So I think it's the spirit of that. Just like diseases can be inherited, past traumas can be inherited. Spirits, in my opinion, I believe this can be just kind of transferred because they're not dealt with. And my mom is 89 years old. Her and I were downtown, and we live in Michigan. We call it downtown here. Young boys who could have been her great grandkids disrespected us for no reason. And I said to my mom, because I wasn't saying nothing to them, that's a spirit in them. And the more I've learned about how we got here, I think it's our responsibility to teach, if we can, every young person about our history. And that's how you separate the wheat from the grain, because with only one human race, it's one human race. It's not multiple human races. We're not humans and vampires. And within our own communities, we have bad spirits that will do things to you in your black skin or in our black skin. That's my opinion.
That's why I be talking about that stuff
I
every
can't hear
weekend.
you,
I'm
boo.
trying to say it's deeper than the skin
Can
tone.
I ask
Everybody
Can't
don't
hear
see
me.
a
past it.
question though?
You can
Can
see
I ask
good
a
and
question?
evil in both.
Can I
I'm
ask
on
you a
earbuds.
question? Don't you feel
Can you hear
sometimes
me?
when you see society, I hope you can hear me, favor, um, so
Did
you
you
just,
guys hear me?
Yeah,
yes,
I
we
heard
can
your
hear
favor.
you.
Oh,
Nervous?
okay.
Yeah.
My earbuds were
Can,
working and I didn't even realize it. I'm
can you
sorry.
Yeah, you
hear
good.
me? Because I want to
Yeah.
ask you a question, okay? Because this is how I see it. I think that, um, before my era, my generation, it was too much abuse. It was borderline crazy, right? And now it's too much to the opposite. And because of the internet and because of the society itself, we are so overworked and triggered so easily that we cannot even communicate to each other. So I see these acts between younger generation and older generation. The younger generation give up on the older generation. The older generation, it's a, you know what? I guess that they're gonna have to learn. So, don't you think that we need to have the talk? Because, yes, I see that is respect, but to me, it's because there's no communication between the older to the younger communication to both of them. Because growing up, I used to have elderly people, and I will listen to them and their life. And maybe it didn't serve me at age 20, but later on, when I was a parent, I understood many things. I don't see elderly people being loving, living by example. Very judgmental, though. Very judgmental. And that's all I'm saying. So what do you have to say about that, Mr. Flavor?
Favor is a female, I'm pretty sure. But
Oh,
she
I don't
was
know. I'm sorry. It was the voice, but maybe I'm wrong. I'm sorry. If I
The
offended,
mic
I
sounded
didn't mean.
weird. Yeah, when she threw that mic in, it sounded weird. Favor, you muted. You can unmute though. Your background was just loud.
Okay.
I had muted it.
Okay, hang on. I'm going to oh my goodness. Okay, I'm turning my camera on so y'all can see me.
She said, "I'm about
I
to
think
confirm
that
this. Let me let you
yeah.
know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't ever play with me."
This is
It's
yeah,
like
this is
that.
my voice. I've always had a voice like this. I'm sorry, y'all. And it's worse
Oh
in
no,
this.
it was
Whatever.
your I would say your mic when you changed your mic or something like that. It just sounded different though. That ain't you.
Um so I
I'm
think
sorry.
that that's okay. That's okay.
You're beautiful, and it was really the voice. It's like
That's
sometimes that
yep.
you, and I didn't mean nothing
That's okay.
condescending to you.
I
Sorry.
want to answer
That's
this
You look
question
beautiful.
after
Okay.
Favor answers it too, because Favor, how old are you?
so
May I ask?
I'm almost 60.
Okay, and I'll be 61 in September. So we're in the
Yeah.
same era.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm getting the
I
60 up in the bench like
yeah. But I think that
Hey,
we
Kevin,
are
I always
I
start something. You know that, right?
and when you say older, are you talking older my generation or are you talking older than us?
Older my generation, like 53. So my mother was, and I love my mother. I understand my mother, but
that.
was very abusive, right? Me, I didn't hit my children at all, but I scream at them a lot. So you understand that, and I had to learn that even screaming is a form of abuse, you
Oh
know.
my.
But you
Yeah.
understand what I mean? But I think that what is the middle ground? I didn't know what I was doing. Did I love them? Of course. Did I know how to be a good parent? No. So don't we need to talk to each other to understand where we come from to find a better way?
You know, you're trying to make that sound like that's easy, and it ain't. That is why there's gentlemen like Kev here that has a platform where that type of communication can take place. It is not easy. The thing about it is, it's not that we failed; it's that they don't want to hear it. They don't want to abide by rules. They don't want to be educated. They don't want these things because it's not easy, it's not fast, and it's not quick. They think that a
Yeah,
man working a job, 8 to 5 or 9 to 5, that's no man. I ain't gonna be up in no factory all damn day. I can't smoke my blunt. I can't drink my drink. They don't want to do that. And I'm gonna keep it real with you. My 18-year-old, all his siblings are educated. I am catching hell. He is doing the 12th grade all over again this year. He should have graduated in June.
That's because the schools
And
can't
that
keep
has
his attention.
nothing to do with me. That has everything to do with he leaves out of here. He drives his own car. He says he's going to school. He 7. I'll get a letter from the school say he ain't been in school in 13 days. I go, what? Where
So
you been?
I don't know that we got it right, and I'm kind of gonna just respectfully disagree. I don't know that we got it right because we teach our kids to get a job versus be the owner of the company, and we teach our kids to go to college and because that's what I hold a master's, and that's what I was told. There's 13 of us. We're all highly educated.
Right.
What my parents didn't tell me is, and the other lady, I'm gonna respond to your question as well. But what my parents didn't tell me is that the education system was never written for us, designed for us, and it doesn't even work for us. What they should have been telling me is to read
Go
as
do something.
many books as you can,
See,
so
I
and
was
learn as
told
much
that.
as you can.
I was told that.
So we're taught to. I'm glad the young people today don't want to work at General Motors because General Motors can't find people anymore, and I'm very glad because who wants to work there? Who? If if I think about it, and I work in a professional position. I never thought when I was little I want to grow up and do this. It was just by default. So I don't. I think that the young people are opening doors and opportunities. They can learn from us, but we can learn a hell of a lot from them too. And your son who don't want to go to school and who's flunked out, this is just my opinion, or whatever has happened to your son as far as education, they can't keep his damn attention. They, we learn as when I went to graduate school was a great experience because I got the right pay. We don't learn by sitting around hearing people talk at us and reading great expectations. We don't learn that way. So the curriculum was never designed for us. We were never supposed to read. Ever. We were never supposed to learn how to read. And now we're all reading.
No, I agree with that. We were never supposed to read, but I went to college and I received a few degrees. I own my own business, and it's not a business that I choose to own because it's simple, because it's easy. My grandparents instilled education in us, and the thing that they taught me or taught all of us was if you're going to work a job you like. And you know what? I've worked for the federal government. I've worked for UPS, FedEx. I mean, I even own my own daycare center, but at the end of the day, you know where I'm happy at? In a kitchen, cooking, because that's my happy.
Exactly.
Hello.
I own a restaurant. That's my happy place. I'm doing
Can I?
what I love to do.
Yes. Can I say something about education? And believe me, Kevin know me, so I'm comfortable to talk like this. I'm not cocky, but I learned from my father. My father was educated. So when I want to watch too much TV or listen too much music, he will go like, get an encyclopedia and go. If I ask him a question, it's like, why you ask me? There's the encyclopedia. You know how much money I pay for that? Go read some, right? So right away, I've learned that by reading the book, I can assimilate and think because I hated to be in class. Because when they're going to explain something, I want to understand. I just don't want to be a recording. So I will raise my hand and ask question, and I will irritate the hell out of the teacher. So, and another thing, I didn't like how my father will uh give my mother opinion based on he was the educated one, you know. So I like to learn, and I know what I'm good. Like the lady was saying, I love to cook. I know I'm good at that. It's in me, right? But I no longer am willing to devote my wealth, which is my life, for an establishment that I don't believe their ethics and I don't believe how they treat people. So,
And I
Oh,
don't blame you.
all right.
I think the young people saw what we went through, and host, you can tell me if I'm wrong because I think you're younger than us. I think they looked at us and said, "I don't want to do that," and I don't blame them. And
But
I
what
know
are they doing?
they, I, you know, I think that here's my opinion. I mean, they have opened opportunities for me. They have paved ways. You know, Martin Luther King and the great Al Sharpton, whether you like it or not, Jesse Jackson, they paved some ways for us. I think and we paved ways because we were stuck on, they used to stick dogs on us. We were thinking we shall overcome. You know what I'm talking about. But these young people are doing it different. And how that's
Mm.
impacting my work life is I can work from home whenever I want. You know, the salaries are a lot better. And it's because young people are saying, I'm not going to do that. I don't know what they're going
yeah.
to do, but they're not doing they don't follow rules. And I don't know that that's all bad. I don't know.
And flavor. Do you remember? I don't know about you, but I remember how I was a teenager, right? I didn't like my parents. I didn't, I always had, why you do it this way? You should do this way. I could not stand my mother say, go and exercise, and she was diabetic and obese. I don't like hypocrisy. I do the same. You understand? It's like I was saying to my kids, go and be happy, and I was the saddest person in the world. You cannot sell something if you cannot
Put
do
that
it
donut
yourself.
down.
right? Huh?
But
Stop
I
being
will
federal
say
here.
this: I have given myself 1 year because I cannot stand the way this country is treating us, and so I've started selling off things, and I am downsizing, and I've given myself a year, and I've filed my passport papers, and I am out of here. I
Have you?
will
Where are
say
you
that.
going?
I'm
Every-
leaving.
Everybody trying to get them
Well,
passports.
Yeah.
I wanted to originally. I had a plan to move to Singapore, but after doing much more research, I want to take my business with me. And in doing that, Singapore will not let me be full owner of my business, and I am not going somewhere where you automatically get to own 51 or 52% of my business that I spent my money to build in your country. No way in hell.
Where are you
So
going?
right now I'm looking at Sierra Leone. I'm looking at Africa. There's a lot that you got to take into consideration. And so
Yeah.
I'm looking at those things, but nonetheless, at the end of the day, I'm out of here, and I won't. My property right now is I spent $80,000 in 2009 and bought this property. I figure I've put in $50,000 over the years, and right now it's valued at almost $800,000.
Yeah.
So that's because my restaurant is turnkey. That's because it's a 4-bedroom house on the property. That's because everything is up to code. And so by the time I sell the lawnmowers, the vehicles, the whatevers, I'll be walking out of here with about $1 million, and I'll be happy with that.
So
Mm.
there's a guy. He wrote the. I don't know if you've seen the movie. He wrote the book from Hebrew to Negro. He literally is in different countries in Africa, and he has a YouTube channel. If you go to YouTube, his name is Robert. I want to say Robert Dalton, but I think that was the guy I dated in high school. But his first name is Robert. Um, you should check out his YouTube channel. I follow him, and he posts every day about exactly what you're talking about. And he's actually there, and he goes to different countries in Africa. So you might want to like, and other Americans have moved there, and they're right on YouTube telling you their experiences. But he's a good
Hey,
one to follow because he wrote that. Haven't seen the documentary, you should check it out. Uh,
hey,
Now,
you
CPA
see
Black.
King down there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He a good guy you could talk to about business. He's one of the main guys right there. You know what I'm
right.
saying?
I
So if you
know
ever want to
King.
check him
I
out,
know King.
Yes.
King and I
oh, you
I
do
travel
know
in
King? Yeah,
the
that's
same circles.
on
I'm
oh,
you
well
know,
aware.
he
I
getting around
I
here. My
know.
boy getting around here. Okay.
Yes.
Oh my bad.
And I know that, people are adult and make their mind up. But you know what? When you says like I'm out of here, that's in 2001 when in Italy, it come it shifted. It's like people just become selfish and start to vote it to a Trump. We had a Trump there in 2001. So I said, I'm moving. I'm out of here. I refuse to live in this condition, right? Little did I know that I was coming in a country that it was 10 times. I went from the boiling pot to the hot oil. So I'm done running. I just know that I want equality. I want to serve my community because by serving my community, I'm serving myself also. And
Mm.
I'm peaceful. And I'm here to not only talk, I walk the talk. And I'm not an hypocrite, but I'm done running. It's like, it's like if you don't resolve it, the problem will solve, will be everywhere because when you move in a country, there is a culture. You need to remember that you need to have the humble attitude because you come as a foreigner, There is so much. It's like I wonder sometimes if I should have stayed in Italy and resolved my issue that I had with my surroundings.
I am
But there's
well
a
aware of wherever I go that I will be a foreigner. That I am well aware of, and I am doing my homework. But I refuse to stay in a country that wants there's basically no middle class anymore. You know, they have raised the level of poverty to $70,000. That's crazy. That used to be middle class. 40 to 70, that was middle class. If you made more than that, then you were headed on the road up to becoming, you know, somewhat wealthy.
The
It
middle
doesn't
class was invented to divide the people, don't you
it does
think?
not matter what the classes are. The point I'm making is when a man is making $60,000-$70,000 can't take care of his wife and his children and pay a mortgage and a car payment, and he's got to work 2 jobs and the wife's got to get out there and work, when daycare is so inflated, and groceries we don't even want to talk about. They say we're the richest country in the world. Bullshit. We aren't. Go look it up. United States is number 11 or 12. We are not the richest country in the world.
I know all this. I know all this, and you're
But
right.
and so
I'm
and
not
so
here to say that you're wrong.
well
What
we're
I'm
talking
saying
about
is the 1% that control us. We are more than them. Why we always have to run? Why
it
we
ain't a
always have
matter
to
of
fight?
running. It's a matter of what you want when you want to achieve something better in life for yourself. It's not running. You may call it running if that's what you did. But I am not
yeah.
calling it running. I am calling it, I want to live in a better society where I have a better chance of survival. Okay.
Well, yeah, and I'm gonna have to agree
Right
with
now,
her on that
my
one.
income, my Social Security is $1,700. My mortgage is 11. Where does that leave me for the lights, the propane, the gas in my car, or even groceries? It doesn't. If I didn't have that restaurant, I would be below the barrel. But I can go to many other countries, and that's $1,700 alone. If my restaurant isn't even open in that country, will provide me a decent lifestyle, because their country is not inflated for food. Their country is not inflated for gas. Their country is not inflated for housing.
I
They
Right.
are
think that that's
not
what
beating their
King
people
said it
down.
better. What I was trying to tell you, I believe you should go wherever you please, for sure, but we need to adjust to expectation. Because I see that people, go in other country and they think that they're gonna go and get one on somebody else to be the rich person in somebody country because now your money have a value. And that's, to me, personally, I don't think he's right. I just want equality. That's what I'm
I
really after.
and you gotta look at, we've been fighting for equality for over 400 years,
And we ain't
and
got it in this country.
it doesn't. So I understand why she's saying, because I'm going to Ghana next year for maybe 6-8 weeks just to check it out. Um, I understand. Imagine being in a place and and everybody looks like you, and
Fact.
that's it, and that's it, and that's all, and that's good enough. And no one's pointing at you, and no one is telling you that you can't enter their premises or you can't live in this district. No one's redlining you.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
We've never experienced that. So if she wants to
Exactly.
go to the continent of Africa to experience just that and be liberated in that, God bless you. Go. I do not blame you.
You know, I'm going to tell you what pushed me over the edge. What really did it for me. What did it for me was I pay $6,000 a year for insurance on my property, to insure my property. A storm rolled through in 2019 and decimated, and I will say it again, decimated 90% of Wisconsin. Okay? And my insurance company paid. And then in 21, a storm came through and decimated 80% of Wisconsin. When I say decimated, I mean shut down roads, traffic wasn't going nowhere, schools were closed, hospitals were on generators, restaurants and gas stations were barely functioning. Okay, so in 21, my insurance company paid again, but last year they canceled my insurance. Why? They said we paid 2 storm claims in 19 and 21, but I've had this same insurance company since 2010. And I watched my rates go up. It went from $4,000 a year all the way up to $6,000 a year, and I never filed a claim until the storm ripped the roof off my restaurant, dumped some trees on my buildings, stuff like that. And then you cancel me, and there is no way for me to fight. I reached out to the Insurance Commission of Wisconsin. I wrote letters to the governor. I talked to the governor's office. I talked to my senators, my congressmen, and everybody said the insurance companies can do what they want to do. So
Yeah,
because of
that's the
that,
rules of insurance, actually.
right. So
But
because
it's
of
the
that,
rules.
that was it for me. That was the last straw. Other things have happened that I have tolerated as a business owner and as a homeowner. I mean, look at your cell phones. Anybody that has a cell phone on Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, whatever you got, look at the bill. If you look closely at your bill, let's just say your actual line usage is $35, $45, $50, whatever it is. Then go look at the taxes. It's state tax, city tax, federal tax, 911 tax, library tax, and God forbid, most people are going to go, I don't even go to the library. I got internet at home. So what? You get to pay for the people that don't have it. You may have never called 911 in your life, but you get to pay for the people that have. So we are being taxed on top of taxes, to the point where there is no money for you to make. You're living and busting your ass to give every single dime to the government, and they ain't done figuring it out. How to get more out of you. The food is shrinking, the cost is going up.
Well, you know
They're
what?
not
We own
growing
our home.
synthetic food. Okay? So all these things that have happened, I have tolerated. I found ways to get around them. I have 2 3/4 acres. I start growing my own food. I start dealing with farmers for meat because Bill down here raises beef cattle. So I'm not going to Walmart and buy beef. I'll go straight to Bill because I know it's real. Me and Bill barter. I grow corn and peas and carrots, and I take them to him, and I get a half a cow.
But you know what? We own our home. My husband and I do, and we pay property taxes. We have acreage too. We pay property taxes. I cannot imagine retiring and still having to pay property taxes forever.
Exactly.
It's like a
And
house
you
payment.
know that if you don't pay 3 years of property taxes, you lose your house.
We
Okay,
already
you
know
pay
that's
for
not
it.
right.
We know the
We
rules.
homeowners. We
No,
know
I
that.
did lose my house. I did lose my house for that. That's a story for my book. But I'm telling you that the part that I had to get over is like, I already invest so much money. Then I lose my mind for a few years and I forget the taxes. And next thing I know, my house is on the sale auction and somebody just bought it. So
But
that's the thing is like people are not aware of how terrible it is treated the citizens in this country. And let me tell you, the money that this country is running is ours because the rich they don't pay it.
no, but that's what I think young people will change because we never questioned it. We just hate it. They are questioning why, if I pay cash for this house, I got to keep paying taxes. They're questioning when you go to the DMV to pay you get your tabs every year, right? They're questioning why do I got to do this every year? Why, so they're asking questions that I never thought of. I just always paid my property tax. You know, in North Carolina right now, they got a law if you because of young people. This is why I say they're you know, we think of them as lazy and don't want to work, but they're changing things. North Carolina law says if you live in your house and you have lived there for 5 years and you're over 60 and you own it, you no longer pay property. So these young people are doing some. They're very, very creative,
Yes.
and I
And
love
you
them for
know,
that.
Black, I think that you're gonna do great in Africa because you're a cook and you like to feed the people. And guess what? There is one thing that I learned from my Somalian mother. It's the sense of community. That if your neighbor is hungry, you should not eat unless he has food in the plate.
All
So
right, you guys.
I'm
I gotta
sure you're
go.
gonna
My
do
husband
just
is
fine.
yelling at me. I gotta go. Thank you for letting me join your live,
Oh yeah, for
Nice
sure, man.
talking to you
and I'll follow all y'all.
too.
I go live Wednesday through Saturday, man. About close to 6 and 7, something like that, to like about a few hours I stay on.
And I never go live because I don't know how. Have a
Tomorrow
good
gonna be a
one.
sweaty topic though. I can't wait for that one. That's the one I'm excited about. But it's gonna
Well, I'll
I'll
make
let
sure I
y'all know at
follow
the end.
you. I'm gonna follow you.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. How long you on today?
This is the reason why I'm
About a couple
leaving.
more hours.
This is the
Huh?
reason why I'm leaving, because this country has nothing to offer me. I had to figure out a way to get around the marriage crap. It is,
Oh my.
I am telling young people that want to get married, don't get married by the government standards. Most states now are recognizing, um, Jesus Christ, I've been talking about this all day. Um,
It be like that.
now I'm drawing a blank, because me and my husband did it. Civil marriage.
Mhm.
And basically what a civil marriage will do, it will keep you out of divorce court. So let me give you an example of civil marriage. Civil marriage is, hypothetically, me and Kev, we're on the same plane. Kev says, I don't want the government in my business. I don't want the government's hands down my pockets attacking me for everything. But he wants a submissive woman. He wants a woman. He wants to stay home. He says, baby, I want you to stay home. You shouldn't have to work. I'll make enough money for the both of us. Okay, that's fine. But here's the problem with me and Kev. Let's say if we were doing this right now in this day and time, I draw $1,700 a month. Okay. The minute I marry him, Social Security says, fuck you. Now you get to take care of her, Kev. She worked all her life for that money. She is disabled to some degree for that money, and she's entitled to that money. But because Kev decided to marry me, now that income just went down the drain. They took it.
You have such a passion, woman. I will hate you to go because we need people like you to speak truth. We need
So
to wake them all up.
So what would happen is I tell Kev, I say, look, baby, I love you. You love me. Let's try this a different way.
Bernie.
I can be wifey all day long. We do not need the government in our pockets. Kev says, how does that work? We legally marry each other through a civil marriage. We can have a wedding. A pastor can do it. But we're acknowledging that we respect one another. We're acknowledging that whatever we brought to the table is what we leave with if it gets to that. So Kev brought a car, I brought a car. Kev brought furniture, I bought furniture. I have a business. He's working a job. Now, as a submissive wife, am I going to try to give him a role in that business? Sure am. So that he don't have to go work a job. We working this thing together. So what, it was mine before we came into it. But this is the way I think, okay? So with that said, now we keep all our income. Kev only pays taxes on him being a single man. I only pay no taxes because my income is not taxable. My nonprofit is a nonprofit for a reason, so I made that not taxable. Okay, so we're living good. We're not struggling to eat. We're not struggling to pay car insurance. We have all the things we want. We can travel because we have those excess dollars. Because we married civilly. And this is
That's
what I'm
very
telling
smart.
young people. Now,
Thank you.
in
You know,
in the
thank
civil
you. I needed
in
to
the
hear this. It makes
in a
sense.
in a civil marriage, if God forbid one of us decides to walk out the door, you only take what you brought into that marriage. So now Kev decides, we're just going to use this example. I'm not you. I know you're not a bad guy, Kev. But let's say Kev, somebody turned his head for
Wait,
whatever
what you
reason.
mean by that?
So Kev comes and says, "Baby, look, I'm not feeling this no more." And I go, "Okay, fine. What do you want to do?" "I want a divorce." "Okay, here's the deal. You're in with me on my restaurant, so I suggest you start looking for a job. I'm not going to be the bitch and say, "Nah, you don't come to my restaurant no more." No, you let that man
Be a
do.
little light on the lingo on here. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
You
I don't want
let
to get
that
blocked.
you let that man go get his job so he is financially stable again because he was financially stable and had a job when he came in. So the thing about a civil marriage is you got to put things back the way they were. Now, the wedding ring he gave me, I get to keep. If we bought animals, we decide who's going to get those animals or whatever it is we did in common. But anything I bought him, he gets to keep. Anything he bought me, I get to keep. We go our separate ways. That's the beauty of a civil marriage. Ain't no judge involved. Period.
Mm.
End of story. We're done. He goes on his
Good
way.
thing you bought me that business.
Well, no, I didn't buy you the business. I had the business. I had the
I mean, like
business.
she bought me that business too.
But because I already have a thriving business, we're going to thrive out of that business. We are, not me are, we are. Okay. So
Mm.
these are the beauties of having a civil marriage. Now, what are the protections to a civil marriage? Let's talk about that. Kevin and I get together. Kev says, "Okay, you got 7 grown ass kids. What's to stop them from, if you pass away, taking everything from me?" Well, here's what we do. We go to a lawyer. I draw up a will. Kev gets everything. He's my husband. I got grown kids. They're living their own lives. So they can't come and take nothing from him. Same thing. He's got family, sisters, brothers, cousins, mama, daddy. He does the same thing. Now he may say, "Okay, I got a sister that's, I don't know, let's just say she's a little handicapped or something, and he's been taking care of her financially, to make sure she gets the proper care." He say, "Hey, look, I got to write her in, so if anything happens to me, you're not responsible for it, but the estate will continue to pay her medical bills, and this and that." That is everything. A civil marriage can provide everything a government marriage has in it by proxy of a simple documents that don't cost a dime on the internet. A will,
Mm.
I just filed my will because I changed it. It's $10. It's on file with the state. Okay, it's $10. Okay, so because some states may not recognize, let's say I get sick and I need supposedly my husband can determine if I need surgery or not, but they go, "Hey, well, Kev, you ain't legally married to her, so I guess we'll just have to let her die because there's nobody to sign." No, what you do is you get a medical power of attorney. It's a free
But that's the
document at
thing.
every hospital in the United States. And my
But
document
see,
says if I become incapacitated, Kevin here gets to decide my fate. If I say do not resuscitate, he gonna tell him do not resuscitate. If I
yeah,
say do everything possible to
yeah,
save my life, he's gonna tell him that.
yeah.
Then all these documents are the same privileges that aren't drawn up in a marriage but are assumed and given in a legal government marriage.
Mm.
One thing that shocks me, right, is that when you talk, right, I'm I'm surprised that you are so well knowledge, how to save money, right? Because when I bought back my house, right, um, I know how to do a deed, right? I saw video, I educate myself, right? I go read the paper to have knowledge. And my landlord that he got my house back to me, he wanted to do it with an attorney because he may be knowledgeable about his job, but that's about it. It's like they don't trying to have more knowledge. It's like if it's not necessary for their life, they'd rather pay somebody than having that headache to learn something.
Right, exactly. Exactly. And lawyers cost money, and basically there's two reasons lawyers exist. Either you're uneducated in the law or you're lazy. Period. That's it. You don't want to go
Well,
educate
well,
yourself how to fight the law, how to stand up for yourself. But
right.
you chose to do that, and so have I. So I'm not worried. I don't need a lawyer. Now granted, he did my husband passed away last year in August, and he left everything to me. And oh boy, did the people crawl out from under rocks, all his siblings. Yes, they
I
did.
know.
They
Yes, they
united.
My
look,
friend,
they were
my
all
girlfriend goes
estranged
through the
from
same
each
thing.
other, but they all put on this united front. And they decided to challenge the wheel. He would have wanted me to have the boat. He would have wanted me to have his motorcycles. He would have wanted me to, and all I was on the witness stand for all of 5 or 10 minutes. And I said, Joanna, all I got to say and represent myself is this. Can any of them submit to the court what kind of motorcycles he had, what kind of boat he had, what did the inside of his house look like? When was the last time any of them visited us? And so here they all come climbing up from under a rock like slugs, and they want something. But none of them were his brother in the sense of being his brother. These 11 people in this courtroom that say they are his siblings, not none of them came to our marriage, to our marriage ceremony. None of them have been inside his house because he had a house. And then he sold it, and he brought the house that he put on my property. And so they're wanting all this stuff, but where was they how can they contest something that they never knew existed? And the judge told them, if y'all want me to look at the facts of even thinking about considering contesting this will, answer those questions and put it to me in writing, and you have 30 days. That's been 6 months. So nobody contested nothing because they can't prove they had a relationship with him. I didn't need a lawyer to do that for me. I did it. I went and looked up what does it take to fight against a contested will. And one of the things is you need to prove there was no relationship between the contested party and the party that the will is set to. So they had no relationship. I
The
got
point is
pictures.
that, when I hear you say that, I'm sad because my father, he used to joke because he was a gambler. So I had no fighting about it. Say, I love others, that I'll make sure I leave you nothing so you will never fight and you will love each other forever. And when you say your story, it made me understand how true it was. I'm so blessed, because the point that is not the money, there's something, that relationship, something went wrong. And I wish that both one day find the calmness, to understand and rise above, because truly it should not be like this in a family. It should never be
Yeah, I
like that.
got that going on. Take that one fighting over the money and stuff. Next minute, everybody don't like each other. It's gonna be crazy, bro.
And to the person in the comment who said, unless it takes away Social Security because you get his retirement, my husband wasn't able to draw retirement. He was 59, and because they keep moving the goalposts for retirement, he wouldn't qualify for retirement for Social Security until he was 65. So no,
Didn't
I
I,
wouldn't
I
get a
don't
dime.
understand why people ask questions. Didn't she just said that she had she didn't need to get a marriage. She trusted the man and the man trusted her.
Mm.
Why you even gonna ask something like that? Like she had a gain that it was an ulterior motive. People are different. Open your mind, people. Oh,
And even if using Cab as an example, if Cab hasn't put in so much because they keep rearranging the Social Security laws because they're trying to find a way to get rid of Social Security so they can prioritize it and take that money, period, for the government.
It's
So
like the lottery.
would
If you
someone
make it that old, you may get it.
is would Kev's he's gonna shit. He'll probably be working till he's freaking 80. He finds a way to retire and he has his own thing going, his own business, and he can make his money and do as he please. But until then, he would not qualify because they keep moving it every so many years for the next generation. It was 62 when we were growing up, and it was 62 well until I was 45. And next thing I know, now it's 65, and I got my friends' kids, or like my kids, my daughter, for instance, she's 45. She can't retire until she's 70. That's what Social Security is saying.
Yeah,
The
there are
average
two
person
different
isn't
opinions there.
physically able, depending on what kind of job they have, to work until they're 70. So they're forced to take early retirement, which means they lost a few years of pension and pay that they worked into the system because the system has basically found a way to screw them out of it. So the
But look,
employers get more years out of you and give you less money back, and they
yeah,
pocket the rest. Isn't that terrible?
yes, but
These are all the
50%,
reasons why I
50%
am
is the
leaving
employer
the
fault.
U.S.
But 50% is the people fault. I literally, when I was 18, I got a postal work job. And the guy that was showing me the route, I was every time, are you okay? He could not breathe up the stairs. The guy was scared to retire because he didn't know what to do with his life if he didn't have that job. So it goes both way. Do you understand what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yep. Yep.
yeah.
I mean, you
Corporate
walk into
and private.
McDonald's now, you are seeing senior citizens working. You know,
No. Watch out,
what happened?
youngins.
Yeah, what happened with my husband was, um, the very the very first date that we had, we had at his place, let's say. The very first date we had at his place, we walked down to the mailbox, and I'll never forget it. And he got a letter from his company, 27 years working for this company, and they sent him a see you later bye letter. And their logic was they were downsizing, and 25 regional managers would be without jobs. And that
You,
whole weekend that was supposed to be me and him, it was those 25 people ringing each other up because they are now jobless with no prospects. Most of these people are between 50 and 65 years old, and they're wondering, what the hell am I going to do? Now he got $500,000 severance check. That's what they gave him, and said,
yeah,
"See ya. If you
but can
sign
I
this
tell you
check,
something?
you can't dispute this."
Yes, yes. But can I tell you something? When I moved in this country and I got my first job, because I really thought it's like, I'm gonna do my business in this country, they don't care which color you are. If you are hardworking, you're gonna get, oh yeah, did I learn a lesson? Anyhow, you know what I mean? It's like I
Surprise!
was very naive when I moved here, right? And then I come here and I left a job with 30 days paid vacation, plus holiday, plus double paycheck in December and double paycheck in August. In August is because they know that people need vacation and they cannot go broke to go on vacation. And in December because they know that family gather together and they want the citizens to be stress free, to don't be stressed, to pay for the debts, to have uh, you know. So when I was talking like this, they were looking at me, is she for real? No, you're lying. It's like, no. But let me tell you, that kind of job, like a postal service, when you retire, they give you a gold watch. Now, Italy, corporate, all that is gone also.
When when my son's dad retired, he had a choice. He had 30 years in with the state of Minnesota, and he lived in Wisconsin and traveled to Minnesota for his work. He had a choice, and I remember him handing me the list and saying, um, pick one of these because I don't see nothing I want. And what they had on there was a Bose stereo system, a watch, a plaque that said 30, thank you for 30 years of service, a gold pen set, and a lapel pin that says I've worked 30 years for the state of Minnesota. Pick one of those. That's what you get as your retirement gift. That is crazy.
Wow.
That's what they offered. 30 years for 30 years of service. So, this country is not for its people. I don't care what color these people are, unless you're rich, unless you're some high affluent uh, congressman, senator, governor, mayor, whatever, or you're the world's greatest drug dealer. This ain't the place for you to be if you're the average stiff working, trying to make a living for yourself without struggling like a dog. And that is why I'm leaving.
Look, I really wish you the best. And I'm just staying a little bit longer. I'm a little bit stubborn. I need to really try to make the difference. So I may decide to move also. But no,
I mean, you did say you came here, so you doing the opposite. You know what I'm saying? So she said she gonna do the
no, but
opposite.
no. What I'm saying, my family, I think where my family is where my heart is, right? My kids, the most of them, except one, it's here. So I found the other community. So right now it's okay, but it can always change tomorrow. You know what I mean? I don't set myself limitation. It's good right now.
And I want to say one other thing, Kev, and go Google it because I think it would be a great topic for you, maybe. There are countries with modern facilities, modern electricity and water and all this, and they are advertising that they will pay people to move there because they're trying to bring in industry. They got jobs but no people, and the reason is people in their countries are getting old. So they're trying to bring in younger people, and they're giving incentives. Like I just read about the Netherlands. The Netherlands is offering, they list their money, but they break it down to American money, $175,000 and land, and you pick your home, and whether you want to stay in the city like with an apartment or something, or you want a house, or you want to live in the rural areas. There are countries that are saying, hey, come here. We don't care where you from, we don't care what color you are, but we have jobs, we have housing incentives, we are willing to give you x amount of dollars for living expenses and the various things. And unfortunately,
Said I'm leaving tonight.
two of those countries I don't qualify for because what they're trying to do is build their population too, and so they have a age bracket, 18 through 45, and one was 18 through 50, right? And so Italy is actually one of those countries, believe it or not, and they list the
Yeah,
various
but in
villages.
Italy, I hope
They
that when I tell you this,
they list the
you gotta
villages.
rethink it because remember that they target just a type of people coming from a type because the need of home there are already as is with the immigrants, but they just don't want the African one. So they incentivate and pay money just to make sure, hey, look, somebody is in it, so now you need it to leave. It's deeper the situation in Italy. I don't know about the other country, but I can tell you, Italy, it's I want equalities. Like if they can do it from people from America, they should do it to the people that is immigrant and is struggling in Italy right now. That's all I'm saying.
Mm.
You know,
Italy.
the gentrification thing is going on everywhere. You know what I mean when I say gentrification, right?
I'll be right back. I'm not leaving. I'm going to bring
Yeah.
up something.
It's when the rich people decide that they like your house and they cannot just take it. What they're gonna do, they're gonna come by you, they're gonna build, and then they're gonna raise all the prices for the taxes and everything where you can no longer afford to maintain your house. Now because you cannot or you didn't before, it's just because it came and input chaos in your life. Do you understand what I mean? Now that is gentrification and that is happening everywhere. And to me personally, it's not right. But everybody can choose how they believe. You know, I just explained why it's not right.
Okay, can you put me on your big screen or no? I got the list so everybody can see it. And you're going to have to go do your own research on each country. But I have the list. So here is the list. Ireland should be on this list. I barely looked at it, but Ireland I know is offering too. Scotland is too. So depends on where you want to go. This is the list that they have right now.
Mhm.
Countries that will pay you to move there, and they're providing housing, jobs. Just depends on what the incentives are per country.
Yes, I remember that right now Italy has a fascist prime minister. Just saying.
So what I would advise people to do is do your research into these countries or where they're offering to live for you to live or work. Find out because some people can move along and keep it going in other countries, but if you're combative, if you don't like their government or whatever, I wouldn't suggest you go because you'll end up in prison. But there are
I'm
many
laughing,
more.
but it's true.
There are many more that are offering too. So that's all I Googled was countries that will pay you to move there. There's some islands too. Iceland, I think is one. There's Scotland has some islands that they're looking for people to cultivate and move to. And basically you get from the mainland to your home with on that island, things like this. Um, there are many incentives, and it just depends on your mindset. But
Right.
there are places that we can go that you don't have to that you don't have to struggle like you do in the
Yes.
US.
So Denmark, to me, in my humble opinion, right? Because I'm a person that believe in equality, and everybody have a fair chance, stuff like that. Denmark is very much like that. It's a strong believer in socialize, and is like the rich child and the person that his job is in a factory worker. They go in the same school. So and they advertise is like fraternity, loving each other as people. So the chances is that when they grow up as adult, they're not they have empathy for each other. So it's less chance that one will take advantage of the other because
Right.
they know
Denmark,
each other.
Denmark and Switzerland are far, in my opinion, if you like the little green plant, it's doable in their country. You won't get arrested for it. It's also doable in Thailand. You won't get arrested for it. And they give opportunities to open dispensaries there
Yeah.
for the little green plant as a business. But look at before you go leaping off the side of the cliff maybe some financial freedom, do your research, because one of the things was I was all planning to go to Thailand until I found out that if I own a business in Thailand, the Thailand government automatically owns 52% of it. I am not going to take my money anywhere, not the US or anywhere else, and build a business for the country to own me, and I'm spending my money to do it. So, you know, uh, look at those types of things But if you're looking for a way to start a fresh life, um, a new environment, a higher paying job, these are some of the places to go. And
Wow.
that was just the first list at the top of Google. There are other countries or other areas around the world that present these things.
Right. Right.
Personally,
Right.
me myself, I could
So
live on a
Kevin,
damn island. I
are
don't
you
need
moving? Kevin, are you moving?
this.
Did you find your
That
stuff?
sound juicy though. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know. I'm gonna think on that. That might be my last resort. Give me a nice little thing out there. Give me a whole family started, you know? Like, hey,
I don't know.
they
You know,
paid
I
me to
think
live here. I
yeah,
am
I
they're
king.
think
paying you to live there.
Right.
And you got a guaranteed job. Now, the other thing is too, a lot of them do have a timeline. That timeline is you're gonna live here for 3 years. From what I've read on a lot of them, it's 3 years, 5 years, or 7 years. You sign a contract saying you're going to stay in that country for that amount of time. After that, you're free to do whatever you want. But
Mm-hmm.
think
I
for somebody trying to start out like a young couple that hasn't, invested too much in the U.S. and they're struggling. This if they can get enough, they ain't even got to get the money because some of them pay your plane fare over there. You know, and so you get there, you get to start life in a fresh environment, without none of the chaotic crazy of the U.S. They're giving tax incentives, all kinds of things. From my understanding is France is trying to start one too, and I've been following it just to see. But the good thing about the British government, if somebody has a lifelong disease, let's say lupus or I don't know, psoriasis or something, where your medical is costing you, or diabetes, that's a great country to move to because everybody gets medical. Canada is
Mm.
Italy
another one.
Italy
Everybody
before
gets
corporate
medical.
took place, Italy before corporate took place, he used to have all the last medical. And if the country was not, beside the fact that it was socialized medicine before, and if the country didn't have the best medical treatment that you want, they will pay for you to go in another country to get treated. That's how good your some government used to treat his citizens. It's like it's a give and take. Here it's just take, 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 and when you think they're done taking, they take some more. It just is never ending. Somebody's too greedy. Somebody, it's I don't know.
It is. It is very greedy. I'm on a medication that costs $21,000 a month. And I would not trade my medical insurance for nothing in the world. I pay $4.
Mm.
$4. I'm on Skyrizi. Go look it up on the internet, Kev. And see what it costs. One dose is $21,000 a month.
Say the name of it again.
Skyrizi, Skyrizzi. That's what I take. Once a month, they send a shot in a frozen by FedEx, and it's shipped out of a pharmacy out of I think Kansas or Kentucky because they contract it out, right? And I pay $4. My medical insurance pays 21, almost to
Oh
$21,000. My
my.
yes, because I have psoriasis.
Yeah, but are you aware? Are you
Psoriasis.
aware that all the medication that we pay, this kind of money that your insurance pay, and I'm so happy for you because that's a lot of money
Mm-hmm.
to just for what to live. But most of the medicine, they are done and paid by the taxpayer. Those COVID vaccine, they are paid the experimentation and the study by us. I wonder why we have always to pay twice. That's my question.
And here's the thing: the pharmaceutical companies are so greedy here, and I was so elated for diabetic people. I am not diabetic, not even close, but I was so elated when I saw that these companies are stepping up and these thousands of dollars a month that they expected these people to pay. How many articles have I read where somebody died because they can't afford their monthly medicine when it's $1,000 a month, and they drop those premiums or that cost to $35. One company dropped theirs to 45, another one dropped theirs to 32. But it took lots of legislation because that's a drug that people need to survive. But look how many decades it took before they did it.
Blessed. I'm gonna tell you one thing. My insanity and even my addiction is almost like I see an upside down world. And it's like, the rich that they can afford to pay, they don't pay nothing. But yet the poor, they're struggling every day just to feed the rich. It never makes sense to me as a child, right? So and when you call on this stuff, they call me the crazy one. You should shut up. You don't know nothing. And little did I know that I'm not the only one feeling that way, thank you to TikTok. And that gave me the courage to want better for myself and self-love. So all that for saying that I really appreciate having to know you today and to learn from you, and wish you the best, truly. Thank you.
You're welcome. I mean, I'm not telling you nothing that you can't find anywhere. I'm just a research kind of person, and I question stuff. I just don't accept what I'm fed in the news, what I read on the internet. I take a deep dive and I do what I do, and that's just the way I am. And I've lived some of these things, so I know better. You
Yeah.
know, and I tell these one of the things I do want to tell anybody that's listening right now, your grandmother, your mothers, fathers, anybody that's elderly in your family is getting these phone calls from the government or from these medical places trying to con them, because that's exactly what it is, trying to con them to change their medical provider.
Yep.
And if they have a good medical provider already, they'll tell you shit like, well, they'll get $150 in grocery benefits, or they'll get XYZ. Weigh that one-time benefit against all the many months of whatever this person benefited from the medical that they're receiving. So for me, like I have a upper denture. Now the bottom teeth are mine. And so I've had medical groups target me, which means somebody had to leak my medical information. So they tell me, we can get you implants. And I know better because none of my insurance is paying for implants, not even part way. And I said, okay, how is that possible? Well, if you just change and switch, then no, what they're trying to do is they can't get rid of these really good programs that they already have out there, but they can sucker you to sign off on them. And once you
Yeah.
do, then
Like
you're screwed.
like what they did to the Indians, right? Those false
Right. It's a switch
promises.
and bait. It's a switch
Uh-huh.
and bait. So
Yeah, yeah.
every one of them that calls me, I only got one thing to tell them. I don't care what incentives you're offering. Here's the deal. Unless you can provide it to me in writing, or we can't do that, you have to wait till you switch. No, fuck you. Okay, we're not doing that. So here's the deal. I'm on a medication that costs $20,000. It's 21, but I round it up sometimes. $20,000 a month, and I pay $4. And I pay no medical premiums either. I don't pay $50 into my medical or none of that. So unless you can give me something that's better than that, I'm not trading nothing. I don't even want to hear your spiel. Oh, well, we can't beat that. I know you can't. Your
Mhm.
job is to sucker me off this plan and trick
Mhm.
me into making payments to some plan that you're telling me that once I sign my name on a dotted line, I'll never be able to come back to you and say you lied or you tricked me. So y'all
Yeah.
be careful with your elders. They ask you about these insurance plans that they're getting called on. Look up their insurance plan that they have if they don't exactly know what they have and compare it. And if
Remember
it
that
is better benefits than
probably,
what these people are offering, don't switch them.
yeah. But remember that people that they target, they already know. It's like if there is, I noticed that this stuff happened to a lone senior, people that they have no good relationship with their children. There's no protection there that are in the wild because what you're saying is happening exactly to my next door neighbor. She's getting older and she need help, and little you know that that's what they do. They target you, and then they want to get your wealth while they get you in the nursing home, and then draw from your social security, right? That lottery, if you make it that far. But yeah, like they're trying to now she has a nurse at home that come in the morning to help her. But what she does, she taking notes because as soon as they have proof that she cannot attend after herself, it's over.
Exactly. Exactly.
Mhm. Yeah.
You know,
That's why I'm making my
and
plant
that's
based
another
diet.
way. That's another way of taking eminent domain because once somebody enters a nursing home, the state immediately seizes anything they own. The minute they enter a nursing home, they immediately go through public records. If you own a vehicle, it's theirs. If you own a house, it's theirs. If you own property, it's theirs. Anything of value, now they have it. And what's crazy is if you have a will, your family got to fight the state to get it back. But the state's going to say, we're putting them in a nursing home. We're paying for that. And this exceeds their benefits. So we are entitled to their stuff. So
You
will
know,
does not take precedence. Another reason why
so
I'm leaving.
the only reason that I'm talking about it because I work in a place like that, right? And you see heartbreaking situation, right? And like there was this daughter, she was so in love with her mother. It's like if you have a daughter, you want that. It's like she had her mother back, right? Do you know which kind of loop she had to go to prove to to the nursing home people that she could live in the house with her mom?
And she shouldn't have had to.
I know, but
But
that's
that's the
what how they
greed.
play.
That is the
That's how they
greed
play.
of the nursing home. That is the greed of the nursing home. That is the greed of the government. And I am fed up with the greed. That is
Me,
why I petition. I'd rather die in some other random ass country than die in the US.
Kevin, do you feel her like I feel her? Because I feel what you say. I'm tired of
I
the
get it.
greed.
I most definitely
Yeah.
here for real. I mean, I can understand it and it make a lot of sense though, especially how things been going lately. So it make a lot of
You
sense
know,
though.
you know why I know
If
that
I can just
money
grab my
will
whole
come?
family and put them
You know,
together, I would love to.
Kevin, Kevin, in my addiction, I realized something. I know why money and creative come easy to me because money is supposed to circulate. So I know why I never without because when I have, I know where to put. It's like I don't invest in the bank. I invest in people, truly. And it's like sometimes I go out of my way, I give something that I may not need it for 2 weeks, but I'm counting later on, right? But when I give it, I always say, I don't say sign a contract. It's like if I trust her like how much she trusts me and she honor me like I honor her, she here when she and guess what? That never failed me so far. I don't want to brag, but that's how is good is now because I'm positive myself.
But my brother, I did not mean to take over your live. I'm so sorry. My
Like, I'm
kids
letting you rock out, man.
my kids say I'm full of. They call me. My oldest daughter says you're. a walking vessel of useless knowledge. That's what she calls me. Until she needs me. Until she needs that knowledge. And it may not be
I
for
see why you
years.
going across seas. Kids
Yeah,
talking
and
to you like that.
Hey,
then when
bless,
she need me,
bless.
she called me. I'm in this situation. What do you think about so and so? All my kids do.
You
They
are in
say,
the right
why?
place. You are in
You
the right
know,
place. Because I'm just
but
like that.
I
And
take the
Kevin
time to
is,
educate myself.
yeah, but Kevin, he's patient with me. He's a gracious man. Is very passionate also, and that's it. I was like, am I speaking too much? Just stop me if I'm saying something wrong, Kevin. I don't want to take your life. It's you're the host, so I don't want to talk for you. But
Um,
uh,
Ziana, I know I heard you say in your addiction. I don't want to get into your personal business. I only have one question. How long have you been sober?
um, that's oh, it's in and out, but it's deeper than that. It's like I master. It's like I had to, in order to heal, I had to understand that I have control everywhere.
Right.
I
Understand
was,
me.
I was,
Stop, please. Stop. Stop. I
yeah.
only want to know how long have you been sober? That's all I want to know. I don't want
It's
you to put
been,
me.
it's been 6 months. But I,
Okay.
I
The,
want to go in the 16 with my son for another reason. But yeah,
the
it's
reason
been a
I
while.
asked that is because I have 32 Sundays ago, I reached 37 years of sobriety.
Yay! You see, thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that. I overthink stuff. Why people ask questions. It's like, why is she asking this and that? But yeah, you see, that's hopeful because I've been in the healing journey. I quit and then I went deeper and then I quit, for a long period of time, like,
So did
when I
I.
was a
I
mother.
quit. It took three times, three treatments over
Yeah,
2 years, three treatment
yeah,
centers, three different types of programs over 2 years from the age of
yeah.
22 to 24 before I pulled my head out of my ass and decided I wanted to
Yes,
do right.
yes. Thank you for saying it for me. I really didn't do it purposely. I really was believed to be a
Nobody
victim.
wakes up, my dear, and decide they want to be an addict. Whatever your drug of choice is, it doesn't matter.
True.
Nobody grows up and says, I'm going to be an alcoholic when I'm
Yeah,
17.
that's
Nobody
what I
says,
told
I'm
my
going to be a
kids one
heroin
day.
addict. Nobody
When
says those things.
yeah, that's what I
Circumstances and
told my kids.
situations dictate that. But at the end of the day, those were bad choices we made. And then
Yeah,
it's your, since you found your way into it, it's you that's got to find your way out of it. And
yeah,
that's what you did, and I commend you for that. I don't
yeah.
want you to put your story out there. And I'm not going to put my story out there. I just wanted to
Y'all said
commend.
y'all story what? Sorry, no, I'm talking.
I'm writing a book, Kevin. If you want to know my story, you can read the book. Because
Well,
Yeah,
Brene Brown told me something true. I was oversharing. And one
yeah.
time, in a nice way, this was the best way to tell me to keep it quiet. In a nice way, this is what Brene Brown said. People need to earn the right to know your story. You just can't
exactly,
give it like that.
I
And
exactly.
that's
mean,
why I'm
I
writing the
think that
book.
story is meant for people that's fighting and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I don't never experience no situation like that, but it can be useful for somebody. Maybe one day that's on this live or something. So
Yes,
I wouldn't
but
know
they
nothing about
need
it.
to be ready to receive. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah, that too.
I I I really is like when I trying to say, "Hey, dude, I've been there. I know it. Let me show you." And they say, "Oh, F you, you blah 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 blah." It's like, what? That's not what
Hmm?
I
Well,
said. You
one of the
know?
things that is a proven fact, sweetie, is that until you have at least a year under your belt, and I know this is going to sound cruel, and it's not meant to be, but until you have a year or better under your belt, you're in no position to tell anybody anything. That's
That's the
true.
mentality behind
Okay.
it. Yeah.
That's the
And and
trueness
and
about
and
it
I respect
because
that.
you're still in the I
No,
can
but
fall off the wagon
ma'am,
stage.
ma'am, truly, I'm saying this with respect because if my mom was alive, I would tell her this right now. Okay? Every day of my life, I'm grateful to be here. And every day of my life, I make sure that I smile and I enjoy myself because I'm grateful to be here. And I'm grateful and happy, even though some of the people that I love the most, they're not happy for my happiness. So
And that's
that's how
sad.
grateful. So when I show my happiness because of what I have done, because I am resilient, it just break my heart that they cannot see that, but they have malice. They call me names like, oh, how can she do you know what she was doing? It's like, and I know that they say this stuff, and I never said this. It's like people think that I'm not intelligent and I can see their fault, and just because I choose not to say it and not to be rude and make them feel the way that they make me feel, that make me stupid. No, you know
That
what
is
I
me
mean.
giving you applause. Speak, mama, speak. That is
But
me
you
giving
know
you
what I
applause.
mean? It's
Just because
deeper.
we don't retaliate back with
Yeah.
something negative, this means we have more respect for ourselves and for you, even though all you can do is lash out and bring us pain. Amen.
Yes, yes, yes. One thing I always knew that I was different, right? The black sheep is that when my mom was hitting me, it was like, why would you do that? All I want to do is for you to love me, and I want to love you. Why you're doing this? And I could not say it because the time that I say it, I get hit more because people don't like to hear the truth. I know this at the age of 3. So when people
Parents.
think that I'm stupid, they need to rethink it. Love means that I overcome a lot because where I came, I had better chance to learn to be narcissist, mean, abusive, and I choose difference. I still don't know what I'm doing, but I take every day living like this than another day in hell because the hell is on this earth, people. That's
It
just
is.
true,
It is. I will
truly
agree with
talking.
you 100%. Hell is on this earth. We are in it. I will
Depending
agree.
on how you look at it, man. You can make it heavy.
It's
It's a
hard,
mentality.
my brother.
Once you
It
know
is
the power of
hard
the mind. Once you
to
know the power of the mind, because people don't know the power of their
Right.
mind.
About to say some people is hell, some people is in paradise right now. It just depends on the mentality.
you know. I had my oldest child. She crawls out from under a rock every now and then, and today I felt like you just a few minutes ago. I heard your voice cracking, and you, it brought tears to your eyes. And I'm sorry if what I said hurt you. I'm very sorry for that. But it also made me want to apologize because here's what happened to me just a few days ago. I haven't heard from my daughter in 7 years, which means I haven't seen my grandkids either. Her 2 sons, well, her 1 son. But um, in doing that, she reached out, and only time I hear from her is when she's in trouble. And trouble doesn't necessarily mean jail or court or nothing. It just means I need lots of money, not
Oh
20,
my.
not
Mm,
$100. I need
mm,
thousands. That's when I
mm,
hear from her. The last time I helped her, I gave her 5 grand, only to find out she lied to me to get it. So, with that said, she called, she gave me her spiel. I knew that some of that story was a lie because of the circumstances under which she told me. So I called her out on those lies. And then this is what I got. Now, granted, she was born when I was in my addiction. And it is not proud of me to say this, but I will say this. I was
yep,
what they call a functioning addict, meaning I went
yep,
to work every day, meaning I
yep,
kept food in the house, meaning my kid didn't miss a day of school. She went to
yep,
school clean, and this, that, and the other. And when
yep,
I listened to my mother, who I thought I could trust, when I realized I need to quit this
mm,
shit, and I asked her to take my daughter until I could do
mm,
better for myself and my child, and that
mm,
turned over backwards. But we're not going to go there. It's about my daughter
mm,
today. So when she called a few days ago and she needed $8,000. After I listened to her story and picked it apart, and this is what came out of her mouth. You know, you're nothing but an effing crackhead. That's all you are. That's all you'll ever be. You know what?
Wow.
That
Like
broke,
your mother?
that broke my heart. But you know what? Here's the deal. First of all, you act like a drug addiction is something new. Like I'm the first person that ever went through it. Second of all, I
Mm-hmm.
was a young person. Hey, we're entitled to make our mistakes. Third of
Mm-hmm.
all, you were never physically injured or any of this other stuff. And at the end of the day, you had a choice of who you, when I was able to get my kid back, you had a choice of who you want to live with. And you chose your grandmother over me. So
Mm-hmm.
whatever happened to you on her watch is what happened on her watch. You do not get to lay that at my doorstep. And this is half the problem with addicts, because you're going to always be an addict from the minute you accept that fact that you are an addict. I'm an addict today. I just haven't used for 37 years, but it doesn't mean I'm not an addict. And so with that said, I cannot let that distressful, distasteful, mean individual drag me back down. Period. That's my child. But she found something that she knows will hurt my heart. Now, is that going to make me give you $8,000? Hell no. If anything, that's going to piss me off, and I'm definitely going to say no. But she's hurting for whatever she's hurting for that I have nothing to do with, but you want to hurt me too. And
And I
so,
think that's
go
uh,
ahead, Kevin.
I think that's like another mentality too, because I believe the past is the past. I believe everything happened for a reason. And I just be listening. Um,
How did you
me
become
listening to
like
both of
that?
y'all.
How did you
Let him.
become so understanding towards your parents? I mean, how old are you? Were you always like this? My
Who,
question to
me?
you. No,
Oh,
Kevin. Kevin is a
oh.
very understanding man. So were you always like this, or you become with age like this?
No, I think I was when I was a kid. I always been like you talking about the just the way I
Accepting
Me,
people
your
for what they
demeanor, the
are.
way you
Don't
are,
be
how understanding
resentful.
you are.
oh, okay. I just been like this, yeah, since I was a kid and stuff. And then the more when I start working on my stuff and stuff, and just actually because I always was been like that, trying to be observing of different situations. And then like it was one thing that did hit me when I was when my dad told me about being the statistic. He like, you don't want to be no statistic. I think that stayed in my mind ever since, and I just always been looking at how other people do things. I try to avoid stuff and learn from other people and all that stuff, and try to be different and stuff. So maybe since I was younger, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like, shoot, God might have gave me this type of mentality and stuff, because I could have did a lot of stuff, but I just chose not to, because I kind of try to think before I did it and stuff. That's why I don't try to get tickets. I was cheap and all that. It was all types of stuff. I be trying to think it through before I even do it and stuff. So
He gave you the
yeah,
spirit of discernment. Is what he gave you. He gave you the spirit of compassion. And
oh
so finish what you were saying, Kevin, because I
yeah,
really would like to hear that, what you were talking about before she asked that question. You were saying you were glad we were here and you listening to us talk. So what were you going
yeah.
to say?
So what I was hearing, because now I mean I heard what you said too, and that's what I say. I was about, it's another mentality thing too. And the thing is, like I said, I'm a firm believer that ain't no such thing as mistakes. The experience we did, it was meant to happen, or you know what I'm saying, because you wouldn't have did it if it wasn't. It's just like I said, I think people stuff that happen in our life is for us to grow from, learn, or adapt to. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
the thing is, you were saying something about that you still an addict. I think that's just it's a mentality. You know what I'm saying? We make our mistakes. That's like me saying that I was a liar and I was a cheater. You know, this little thing they be saying, once a cheater, all a cheater. That's not true. I'm saying people make their mistakes. People, do their things or whatever, but you could change. Everybody has this change or progression in life. So it's depend on how you look at it. If you look at it as in like, that I'm not no longer this person no more, and I grew from that. I learned from that situation. It is what it is. Just like I might have been always negative, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna say that I'm a negative person, because I'm working towards trying to be more positive. You know what I'm saying? So whatever you speak on is what you become. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm a firm believer that words is very powerful, and if you talk to yourself a certain way, that's what you're gonna become. And I understand what you're saying, though. This is realism and stuff, because you're saying that with that. But I'm just saying, like, the way we talk to ourselves is how it's going to be. You know what I'm saying? But me listening to both of y'all, that's another thing. um, like I said, it's always being honest with yourself. No matter what you did, you got to be honest with yourself. Own up to it. You did what you did, and don't feel bad about it. You know what I'm saying? As
Oh
long as you
no.
progress from your situation, that's all that really matters. You know what I'm saying? No
Exactly.
judgment. You ain't got to worry about somebody judging you. And I understand what you just said about what your daughter has did to you. You know what I'm saying? Some people go below the belt, and them one of the harshest things is that's the only people that really get to you is your family and stuff. And I do understand that they the ones that probably dang near make you cry and all that stuff, or they the ones you care the most about. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you react a certain way and stuff, but it's just it's all about just trying to understand it because obviously she's not mature enough and she can't handle a disagreement or somebody. You know what I'm saying? So it's just some stuff, some connections she got to be forgiving to her. That's all it is on that situation though. But like I said, once you own up to whatever your situation is, or being honest and say, hey, you know, I did what I did. You know, that's when you can relieve yourself from it. That's all it
Yeah,
is. Because I could tell that
exactly.
I could
I
tell
think
even when you had did that with Tiziana, I could
yeah,
hear the hurt in her voice because she ain't like that. I mean, not gonna say it like that, but I'm
no,
just saying that it kind of hit her a different angle and stuff. And I could tell she's still in a way. I know you still feel some type of way about it. But it's like I said, you wouldn't be the person you is today if you ain't go through what you went through. You know what I'm
yeah, but
saying?
Right.
can I say something? 60 and blessed. First of all, I admire your honesty to have the courage and to be okay with our past because I was talking to Kevin about this. He's like, I had to learn to accept my dark to be in my light. Do you understand what I
Exactly.
mean? So
Exactly.
you own
And
it, you did your job. I have five
right.
children, right? Two, they are supportive. I mean, it's not idyllic. We still have, like a meeting of the mind, but we love each other. And when we raise the tone, I say, remember that you're talking to the person that will give her life to you. So you understand? If we understand that we love each other, we talk to each other. We don't yell at each other, and we stay away from those abusive behavior. Because I was one of those, right?
Hmm.
So, but two, they forgive me. Three, they don't talk to me. I did the same thing. I did the same apologies. Now is no longer my problem. I'm not going to use that bad feeling to get me back and ruin my life again. I'm not doing that no more.
Exactly. And that's
I'm
what
not
I,
doing it
Kevin,
no
that's
more.
one of the things I wanted to explain to you. Here's I went through I think I went through my last treatment was the best treatment ever. And I worked for the federal government, and so I didn't. The first treatment I went through was like that 7 day. You go in the hospital emergency room. You tell them you want to quit using drugs. They keep you in the hospital 7 days. Watch over you like you're a child, and then they send you home because the drugs are out of your system. Okay, that lasted for all about 3 or 4 months before I was back out there doing it again. The second treatment it took me, I don't know, a year or so before I went to the second treatment. The second treatment was for 90 days. Did that work? For about 6 months or so. And so when I finally went to my boss and told my boss, I know that this is available. I want to go. And she said, here's the thing. To keep our employees, it's available to all employees. Your job is guaranteed, but it's not a simple program. This program is 6 months to a year. And at the end of those 6 months, they will evaluate you and decide if you need to stay in the extensive program, which is another 6 months. I walked in the door signing up for that 1 year, period, because I was determined to keep clean. And so one of the things we learned, Kevin, if you've not been down this road of using drugs or know people that have successfully completed a drug program, this is the one thing one of the counselors told me. And he said, the minute you get complacent with being clean, that is the minute you will go back to use. Drug addiction is patient, powerful, and cunning. And it will wait for you for 50 years. And so when I say I'm an addict, I am going to always be an addict because I am predisposed. My body is predisposed. My brain is predisposed to
Okay,
use it.
can I say something? This is how I put it because I think that I mean good also, but this is how I see it. It's like me as a human being, to be stressed, to be doubtful, to be scared, right? So as long as I stay away from all those environments, I'm good. You understand? It's like the time that I have the urge to think that I need to go ruin my life again, I'm gonna start to question the people I'm around or what am I doing? You know what I mean? It's take time to learn yourself, you know?
The
So
program
that's
that I
why I
went
say,
through, the program that I went through, and I'm going to show you why that is faulty thinking to some degree. You are free to think it and until it hits you. There was a man there in the program. He had a whole 40 years of sobriety, but his wife was going through cancer. He couldn't take it. And he stopped in a bar one night because he was so tired and he was downtrodden and he's losing the love of his life. She's wasting away right before his face. And he drank one beer and he left the bar. And that one beer made him stop at a convenience store and he bought a pint of liquor. And the next morning he went out and bought a fifth of liquor and he was back out there. That's what they mean when they say it's cunning and it's patient. He had 40 years. You can stay away from old playmates and old playgrounds, as they say. But what happens when you walk up on your neighbor who you catch getting high that you didn't never know got high? And they hand you something when it's right there in your face. Do you have that wherewithal? Do you have that skill set? That's why they say geographical location does not stop an addict of any sort. Because if that
absolutely,
person
because
wants to
you bring you
use,
with
they're
you.
going to find it wherever they go.
Yeah.
You can put them on the continent of Africa
No, I
in
know,
the,
I know.
and they're going to
I
find it. So
understand that.
this is
I
my
understand.
reality. And
Right.
so as long as I know that I am predisposed to using, I have to remember that every day. I can stay away from all the crazy people. But let me tell you something. How many times have I went in my restaurant's bathroom and found needles? Am I going to shoot up? Hell no, that ain't my thing. That ain't my drug of choice. I ain't sticking no needles in my arms. That's why I got dentures on the top. Cause,
Right.
I ain't going to the dentist. But
Right.
the point is
Right.
what you never know when that opportunity is going to present itself. So if you get complacent that you're good, that you don't need, that you done forgot why you're clean, that is when it gets you. It's like a snake. It slithers
No,
through
I
your
hear
life,
you.
and it's
So
gonna
here,
wait. And
here,
so I keep reminding myself, and not on a negative, but on a positive, because if I say I'm an addict, I also say, look where I'm at. Look what I have to lose if Kev comes around here smoking crack. Okay? I can't have Kev around. The minute I see him pull up, we ain't no, hey, big mama, how you know? Get the hell off my property is what he gonna
Why you
get.
can't say you a survivor?
And you
yeah,
that too, but that is the point. You cannot forget. You ever
yeah.
seen a movie? You ever seen a movie, Kev, where I don't know, let's say a fireman loses his family in a fire, at his own house while he was at work as a fireman. What keeps him going? Instead of him just giving up and saying, I can't be a fireman no more, that is what helps him. That is what keeps him, that memory. He's not living in he's not in sadness. It's paying homage. It's acknowledging that I need to step up my game. I need to fight for fire systems in homes. I need to try to get legislation that everybody gets a free smoke detector. It's a reminder. Is all it is. It's not negative. I don't view it as negative. I view it as positivity,
Mm.
as me looking at what have I accomplished up until now? What did I lose back then? I've gotten those things
So
tenfold.
So, so you are so right. And to me, it's like it's about hypocrisy, and that's why I know that it sounds like, oh, I want to talk about myself. No, when I was young, I really, when I call off all the wrong, right? They
Mm-hmm.
were saying, "Shut up, you're young. What do you know, right?" And then I start to get beat down and demoralized, thinking maybe I don't know everything, but I was still observing, right? So, like, if you're good, if you're happy, and I like your energy and how candid you are about your life, okay, is good. Me personally, the way I do and I advertise on TikTok is like, I can, I just need to remember the past, not to go again. But
Exactly.
but watch this. In addicts, I saw the more kind people. They will, an addict give me the last $100 for my addiction. Because, do you understand? A rich person will never give an addict money because but they're not gonna even take you. They only just gonna judge you. It's like, oh yeah, I give them money before they didn't pay me. But they never come and say, hey Tiziana, what happened to the person that you were and why you're doing this? None of them ever stop. But to hear what they talk or now coming back to my face and smile at me like, oh, you look so wonderful. Well, I know exactly how they talked to me when I was down. And I smile, because I had to learn grace. Because deep inside of me is like, I don't need you to come here now. I needed you then. I don't need you now. But I'll keep
Exactly.
that to myself because I have grace. I'm talking like this with you guys because I think that you understand what I come from, and what I'm saying is not out of malice, it's that of my life experience. Because some people don't understand what I'm talking about. They don't
Yeah.
talk about this stuff.
I just
And here's the wonderful thing about addicts, Kev, and I think she'll agree, is that once you deal with all the skeletons in your closet, there ain't nothing nobody can drag up. They can drag it up all they want, but once you done did it and dealt with it, and you can look at your own self in the mirror and know you've made your amends. So say I stole $50 from you. I will call you up 20 years from now and say, hey, you know what? Remember that $50 you thought your brother took? I took it because I was getting high with it.
You know what?
It's too late, but at least I can make the amends. So I have no problem with
Yeah,
anybody on this earth because ain't no skeletons in my closet no more. Can't
you're
nobody
free.
drag
You're a
nothing.
truly free woman. You
Yes,
can
I am
really call yourself
spiritually and
free.
mentally and
Yes,
emotionally free. And that is
free.
the best thing I can do for me, Kev.
Yep,
so
I agree.
I believe. I mean, I get you though, but it's just I don't know. I think I always believe that our mind is just a so powerful thing. I think we can do anything we want to do. You know what I'm saying? And the reason, like I said, the only reason why I said that, I think the way we talk to ourselves says a lot. I know you said that's with the I don't know how to explain this because I understand why like, oh, yeah, you ain't gonna get me and all that. But the thing is like how to explain this?
It's
Because
not
it's like
negative.
habits,
What you
right?
are
Just
explaining?
like we be saying, we feel like we can't break certain, and this now I ain't talking about an addiction, right? I'm just talking about habits, right? I believe all life, everything we do in our life is habits. You want to say something
Mhm.
already, Tiziana? I ain't even saying nothing yet. Go ahead.
No, no. It's
Go ahead.
like one of the best conversation that my son had with me once that he could trust me, that I was in the path, that I was meaning and say, is like, I'm not going there anymore. And I meant it, right? He said this, I'm sorry that when you had the restaurant, I was not supportive. I was young and selfish, but I saw the struggle you were having. And I cried because he acknowledged that I just didn't become an addict, that something drove me. Do you understand what I mean? It's like
Exactly.
not having support, seeing getting hurt from the people that they're supposed to love you and help you like you have helped them. It make you want to get numb because it's like, what's the purpose? So I'm glad I overcome all that. And I want to tell the people that everybody can overcome that. I'm not going to be judging you. What I can show you that it's okay to forgive yourself. It's okay to want better for yourself. And blessed, I'm so glad that you are on the healing boat. It's wonderful to not feel alone because you're right. We made amends, and it's up to them. It's not my choice if they can take the apology or not. What they
Exactly.
do though, they're missing the new me, that I will be the mother that they want. I will trying to be there for them and support them if needed. And maybe I will spend time with my grandkids, you know. But hey, it's not just my responsibility. My door is open. I didn't move yet. I got my house back. They know my telephone number, and I just need to be patient. One day they'll get it.
Yep, that's the way I feel because I have two that are stuck
Not
in
if
their
you move to
ways.
Africa. No, who come and get you there?
I'm gonna
if
try to get the whole thing out when y'all get done because I never got finished. Go ahead.
once I leave the country, I'm done. Everything I leave behind, I'm not looking back to the U.S. I'm sending postcards with, "Hey, here's my new address," and you know my international number, and it's up to whoever if they want to reach out. I'm done.
Okay.
Go
Yes,
ahead,
sir.
Kev.
I don't think I done lost it. Y'all done covered my whole brain. If I had a lot to say though, but all right.
I'm
I know
sorry.
that's a touchy. I know there's a touchy subject. Like I said, the only reason why because I do talk about everything, and I just want to adjust people's mentality. It's the only reason why I say different things and stuff though. Even
I
with that,
remind you what you were saying. You were saying that after listening to my view and her view, you
yeah,
are learning, and then we
yeah.
interrupt.
But yeah, that's when we had talked about. But yeah, I think we passed that part a little bit though. But I
Right,
was
you were
just
saying
saying
that
like,
you were saying that basically you were talking about the negativity that you felt that reminding yourself of where you came from
yeah,
is negative, and I
yeah,
was saying it's positive for me, but you know, to each his
yeah. I feel
own.
you though. And that's why I said yeah, I feel you on that though. But I think it would be even though you said that right. Because it's like holding on. It's kind of like holding on to a grudge in the same way too. Like you know what I'm saying? Because some stuff is just like you got how you talk to yourself, and then that it's making sense now because you said your doctor or whoever I forgot. I don't get the situation though, but you said they told you that yeah somebody did it in 50 years later or something like that. I don't think they should have told you something like that because that's gonna be stuck in your mind, right? And see, even if you want to push it back to your subconscious or not, they shouldn't have said nothing like that. They should have. That's why I said words is powerful. They should have been like, hey, you gonna be good. You know what I'm saying? Even if it didn't work, you know what I'm saying? But by that being in the back of your mind, that still give that little leeway, right? Even though if they want to say that's realism or just being real with you or not, but some stuff just need not to be said because a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna take that in. They're gonna always remember that stuff. And if they would have said not, that's why I said it's like the what they got that the placebo effect and stuff. You ever heard of that junk too? Would
Mm-hmm.
they be because that's how powerful our mind is. I do believe our mind can do anything. You know what I'm saying? It can break us out of certain situation. You know, like I said, out of habits. If I wanted to, like I used to say on this live, like if I wanted to switch over and be a hippie, all I got to keep doing is making habits of being a hippie. You can be whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? You can do whatever you want. You can like right now. I've been celibate for the last 2 to 3 years, close to 3 years. I think 2 years. I don't know. But of course, we could say that's an addiction. I know that feeling. I miss it too. I miss it so. But let me stop. But I'm just saying that, like,
You should have
I
seen
wasn't
your
going crazy
face.
like that.
He's like, I miss
But
it. It'll be
But
crazy.
I got you beat 9 years, and I'm proud of it too.
okay, that's cheating. Say no, I'm talking junk. But I'm just saying, it's like I think our mind, the way we talk to ourselves, the things we say to ourselves, and I understand that you said it reminds you from where you came from, but like it's just simply just changed it to like I'm a survivor. You know, I made it through this stuff, and it's a testimony or something like that. It's like I think it will make a bigger change than rather just reminding or say or calling yourself an asshole. It's like me, like I said, it's like me if I cheated one time, I'd be like I'm a cheater or even though we say we sinners or something like that, but I'd rather call myself a child of God than say that I'm a sinner. You know what I'm saying? Something
Well,
like
I
that.
tell you
But it,
what, Kev, I'm gonna give you a little bit of homework, just a little bit, if you choose to take me up on it. Go to any AA meeting or Narcotics Anonymous meeting in your area. Take that time. You only got to stay there for the first 10 minutes because what's going to happen is going to happen in those 10 minutes. When those tables open, everybody in there is going to say, Hi, my name is Charlie. I'm an addict. My name is Susie. I'm an addict. When
Yeah.
they say the prayer, everybody says they're an addict. There is a reason that method works, my friend.
Oh, I feel you. You
Until,
talking about the beginning though. You saying you 27 years and still calling yourself
no,
an addict. That's a whole
37
different
years.
thing.
But
You
that's
see what I'm
the
saying?
point. I still go to those tables. I
Oh.
still go to those tables. You still need support. Just because I stopped, because this is another thing they teach you. Just because I stopped don't mean I can't relapse. It does not
Mm.
mean that. You know, let me give you a good example. I was in Walmart.
No, I understand you.
I was in Walmart and I was shopping and my foot kicked something. So I looked down because I got my purse on my hip. It's half open. And so I wondered if something fall out my purse. Well, what I found was a baggie full of crystal crap, whatever, which I later on found out what it was. And the first instinct I had was to put it in my pocket. Now this was 6 months ago. And I did. It's on the floor. But the more I shopped and the more I went through Walmart doing what I was doing, I asked myself, you know, goddamn well that's drugs. Now, what kind of drugs? We don't know. Is it drugs you're gonna like or maybe not? Am I stressed the fuck out? Sure I am. Go down this road. Is it something I can sell and make money? That's still another problem because I'm the only black up here, so I'm going to jail soon to Foley. I mean, I had serious conversations with myself. I did. And that is what it's about. It's about you can relapse at any point in time given any
But you didn't.
situation. Well,
But you
what I
didn't.
did was, I mean, because I was stressed out, and I'm not gonna lie, there are times I swear to God, I want to get in my car, drive to St. Paul, Minnesota, pull up at XYZ corner, and get what I need and go home because I'm catching hell.
You
But that
see,
ain't the
I will
So you
remove
end.
saying
myself.
you're never in your life gonna ever be over this? Like for any, so I should tell
No,
everybody this that
no, you
you're
never
never
in
gonna get
your life
over it.
going to be over it. Well, how many movies have you watched
That's
where the guy's
crazy.
been an alcoholic all his life? And he's fighting that addiction. That
Can
addiction
I
is not
can
just
I tell
movie
you
wise.
something?
That addiction is
Yeah, but
real.
okay, can I
And
tell
when
you
he makes
something?
up, let me
I
let
see
me
your
finish,
point
and I
of
will
view.
give you the. Let me finish, Tatiana. Tenzia. Anyway, what I did was I went and got in my car. I dialed 911 because I wasn't going to pass it along to some stranger behind the customer service counter at Walmart, right? So I dialed 911. I told them I found this crystal looking substance in this plastic bag on the floor at Walmart. Well, they came. Now I'm going to tell you what they did that I later on found out because I know the manager and the general manager. The cops thought because of my vision, the way my eyes move, they jiggle. And a lot of people, if I get sick or something in the street, they automatically think that I'm suffering from some kind of drug use or alcoholism, and I am not.
Right.
Indicative of my eye condition is indicative of that. So with that said, they went in and watched the cameras in Walmart, and they saw me reach down and get it. Okay, so they come out, they took a report, they said, hey, we're going to destroy this. Um, can you sign off? You found it so we can put it in our evidence locker. And I did that, and life went on. But did 900 thoughts go through my head? Absolutely. All kinds of thoughts. Did I want to even try or see what this was? The thought crossed my mind. But I have to be stronger than that thought. Okay. So yes, maybe you need to do a live and bring in people that have had addictions, and they will tell you it is not that simple. This is why I said go sit through an AA meeting. They're only 45 minutes long, most of them. And you will hear these people's stories, and they will
But I've
have
been there.
years of
I've been there.
sobriety. They
I've
will
been
have
there.
years.
I'm
Right.
just
I
gonna
know
tell
you
you.
have,
No,
but
but
he needs
can I
to,
tell? No,
so he
if
can
for
understand the
somebody that
addiction of
works,
people.
can I say something?
Go
I'm
ahead.
just trying to say this. You know, Western medicine, for people that they go with Western medicine, they have the right to do what they want with their body. But I also had the right to learn other way to heal, right? So to me personally, that AA, it didn't serve me. It just was a reminder of something that I was no longer. And it's okay. And I really want to say one thing to you. I admire that you are clean for so long, because I know exactly. I still, the last time that I lost, and when I say 6 month clean, is because I came to the agreement that I give enough to the casino. I will no longer destroy my life to make anybody comfortable. I spoke my truth, I wrote my truth, and I am deserving of everything good that life has to offer. I believe this. And you need to believe, and please, you need to have the same admiration of yourself. You did the work. You know, if you, what help you believe that that's help you to be sober, be it. But I want you to also, my friend, to recognize that you put in the work and you should be proud of yourself.
Oh, I'm more than
Okay?
proud of me. I'm definitely proud of me. That's why when people say negative shit or try to drag up some paths like my daughter, it don't faze me. It's
Yes.
bye. I hang up.
Because
I'm
you
not
see,
finna dwell on that.
I stopped to see, I have friends in addiction, right? Gambler, and even more because they do drugs, right? So I just had one big one to cover, and the cigarette. There is people that they have level of pain that I cannot even imagine, right? And some I know. But I always make sure, because I have boundaries now. I learn into therapy, right? And through books. So I will just stay there just 2 minutes to see how she's doing, and to remind her that tomorrow it can be different. It doesn't have to be this way. And I can show her where to go. And I just live as like 3 blocks down the road. And that's all I do. And I go back home. I just want her to know that there is hope. I am a friend. And just because I choose different for myself is not my place to stop loving her or judging her. I never want her to feel that way.
Um, Group here that meets in my restaurant, and I started it because there are lots of groups for men, but there are none for women up here. And in that, I've had more moms lose their children because they have gone in and out of addiction. I've had 8 moms to count for the last 5 years that literally gave birth and walked out of the hospital and left their child and never looked back because their addiction was that strong. I've had women go to prison for years and get out, and now the court makes them mandate come to my meetings. And they have to bring a sheet with them that says, hey, I was at this meeting on this day at this time from this time to this time. And they don't show up. Their addiction is that powerful that keeps them from following the rules, that makes them walk out of a hospital and leave their newborn baby there and never to look back. And their addictions up here, the biggest addiction is meth. I wouldn't even want to begin to go there. But that's, it is a powerful substance. And some people are predisposed and have an addictive nature, and others learn their addictive nature because they continually to use the drug that now their body is dependent upon, such as heroin or alcohol.
Right.
But there are many forms of addiction. I guess your
Yes.
addiction is gambling. There's
But I
overeating.
tell you more. I tell you more. My addiction, it was my father addiction, and it was my grandfather addiction. So it's a little bit deeper, in my little humble opinion, based on what I read, that it's deeper than that. I really believe that I'm here to really change generational trauma, and I want to start a healing path. It's deeper than that, in my humble opinion. I speak for myself.
So Kev, I've run across many people like you that they have their thought process on how they think. Because they'll say stuff like, "Well, you could beat this, or you can do this, or you." And I tell anyone the same thing I tell you. There's nowhere generally that an AA meeting isn't, and AA is for alcohol, but they tell you it's the same principles. It really is. AA, Overeaters Anonymous, um, Gamblers Anonymous, all of them have the same 12-step program. The book just says AA, Narcotics Anonymous, Gamblers Anonymous, Overeaters Anonymous, because they all have their books. And with the exception of Overeaters and the gamblers, their verbiage is different because it's dealing with gambling or with overeating. But with AA and NA, it's the same exact book. It just has a few different verbiage based on drugs or alcohol. And so I tell people like you who think that it's that simple for us that
I never said it. Let me clear that up. I never said it was simple though. I was just saying change the mentality behind it. That's
right,
all.
but
I believe everything start off
the
with mind.
mentality is not negative. And I can't begin to express that, and I don't know how to make you understand, or make you is not the word. I don't know how to get you to see why it's valuable to me. And the only way I can
Oh,
explain
I'm
it,
not saying that. What works for you works for you.
only way I can explain it is I tell people go to, because those meetings are open, and go to those meetings and sit through one of them, and you will understand the concept, I guess, of what it takes for somebody to stay sober. Because life throws us curveballs, me, you, anybody. And then all that person needs is a curveball that they can't cope with. And they think that the best way to fix it is go back into their addiction to be numb, as she said. Because if you're drunk all the time, you're numb. If you're high all the time, you're numb. You're not going to address the issues at hand. So it's they give us these little sayings like stay away from old playmates and playgrounds, meaning if you're still using, I can't hang out with you.
Here,
If the
I'm gonna
drug
give you
house
an
is
example. I'm
if
gonna
the
give you an
drug house is
example.
next door to you and you my best friend, I can't come to your house to get you. If you need a ride to work, you're gonna have to meet me 5 blocks up. I'm not trying to sit there and be tempted, And so as they say, we have to protect our sobriety. And I have spent 37 years protecting my sobriety in a myriad of ways, from staying away from certain people to re-educating myself, to starting my business and staying busy, because idle hands are the devil's workshop. So I have done a myriad of things, to protect my 37 years.
Of blessed. Truly, you are being sober more than me. I have no mouth to say. I did long time. Like the longer that I stay without addiction was like 7 years, and then 5 years here, 2 years there. But every time that I was getting back, it was getting deeper. And then I was going to, it's like, and they have Gambler Anonymous here, but you know where they have it? In front of the freaking casino. And I'm not joking. I can take a picture. I wrote it in my book.
I believe you.
So the point is this. Either I had to understand what I was doing and what I had to modify and learn a better way, or you see this place where there is the gambling stuff, they have a place where they do concert, they do weddings. Okay. I'm not gonna miss a concert just because I cannot control myself. I really had to learn discipline. And the longer that I had, you know how hard it is just to become better and get out physically. Let's forget the mental part. I understand you and I applaud you. it just doesn't work for me. It just, I see something that maybe you don't see, and I don't even want to address it. But if it worked for you, I really like you as a person. Whatever, keep your sobriety, do it. I just don't see it like you do. It's that simple.
Exactly. And they say whatever it takes for you, what works for your sobriety may not work for the next person's sobriety. So
Yes.
everybody has to do what it takes for them. And that's why I was saying, I think this would be an interesting topic for Kevin, because if he did it, he would hear all the different sides and he go, wow, those two didn't talk about that or this, because everybody does what it takes to keep them clean.
Yes.
So it's not, so according to that, right? That means it's not a solid advice or anything you can give on it because, like, because I was thinking, like, you got me thinking, like, should I tell people, right? Just because you give me your experience, like, I got some up, so I could tell. Do I tell people that's trying to fight an addiction, like, you always gonna hold up, you basically like you gonna always be an addict, but um, try to manage it or something? Like,
They
what
have to
advice I give?
protect. They have to protect their their peace, so to speak. They have to. When I say peace, I mean PEACE, because they're if they're clean for any length of time, they have to protect that. They have to not let people get them riled up where they make excuses for why they want to go get high. You know, a friend of mine hasn't drank in Freddie, and she's a I love that woman to death. And Freddie hadn't drank in over 40 years, and her husband died on the operating table. I don't know, a couple weeks ago, from during a triple bypass surgery, and you know
Mm.
and she called me at 3 a.m. and she said, "Can you come and get me?" And I said, "Where are you?" And she said, "I'm at a bar in New London and I am drunk." And I said, "Freddie, how could you?" And she said, "Please come and get me." New London is 5 hours away from me. But she said, "I'm too drunk to drive. I'm just going to get in my car and go to sleep. Please come and get me." And I went and got her. I drove 5 hours. I was sleepy as hell. Good thing I had a couple, 2, 3 hours of sleep. But
Can I
I
have you as
mean,
a friend? No, I'm joking.
they have what
You're
they call
awesome. You're
sponsors.
awesome.
They
I
have
Yes,
what
but
they
that's
I
call
think the
beautiful.
sponsors.
reason why this rubbed me a whole different way though, because that's because I do motivation. I mean, not trying to say that yours is negative though, but it's just like just can't picture myself really staying there for real. It's like, cause I'm always like the opposite. I always tell somebody like hey, you bigger than this. Cause like I say, I gotta say motivating type words, right? So I can't, I'm so big on not trying to get people to remind themselves of their past, right? Even though you do gotta be honest with it, but then again, it's like if you keep reminding yourself of the past, you'll never let it
It's
go.
not a matter of
Just,
you keep reminding yourself. You do acknowledge it. It exists. I'm not. If you walked in here with a bag full of crack, am I tempted? I would be. That's just fact. I can't. I
That's
can't.
just
If I
like
would
me if I
lie.
walk with a bag full of women with fat booties. Of course, I'd be tempted too. But I'm just,
Okay. So, but
I'm
that
not gonna
doesn't
say that
mean
I'm a,
you go for it. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
so I do have to remind myself, Kevin can't stay here. He needs to take his drugs and leave. I might want to jump your bones, but I can't. Because it's just the fact I know you got this stuff with you. I know, you like, baby girl, look, I had to stop and pick this up because I got to drop this off with the crew. It ain't for me, but now I'm in my head trying to figure out how to get a little bit of it or a taste of it. Just let me
I
sample it for
wonder
you.
sometimes.
So
Are
I
you
have
here?
to protect that. I
I
have
know,
to I have to
but
remind myself that this is not
but
a good thing.
But I have a question for you. I trust that even if somebody tell me, I'm your friend, right? And somebody tell me, hey, they saw her coming out of this is an example. I'm trying to make you understand by so you're my friend, I trust you, and they say, oh, they saw her coming out of that meth house, and I'm gonna say, So what? Maybe she went to help somebody. I trust you, and you need to trust yourself because it's 30 years.
So you keep trying to
But
say
why
I'm
you,
not
my
trusting
question,
myself. I'm
okay,
not
I'm gonna ask
stupid.
you a question. No, but I wanna ask you a question. What is the part that it make you go there for 30 years to the meeting? Because that's what I wanna know. How does it help you after 30 years?
I haven't been to okay, before this meeting I actually went to this meeting that I went to because I was invited to be a speaker.
Mm. Ah,
I was
you see,
invited to be a speaker to share my story. Um, and no, you
you're a
don't get
success.
paid for it or anything. But the meeting before this, I went was like 6 months ago. And I went because my husband committed suicide. He left no
Oh,
note,
I
no
got you.
nothing. And I was having a
Mm,
difficult time dealing with that. And I don't think that
yes.
there's no shame in my game for saying
No,
that. But what did I
no,
want to find a way to make the hurt stop? Yes, I did. Did I want
yeah,
to find a way to stop the pain I was feeling? Yes, I did.
absolutely. Now
And
I
the first
understand
thing
you.
I thought about, I got cousins that are drug dealers in Minnesota. I literally picked up my phone to call my cousin, and I
I
had to
got you.
stop myself because he would have
I
brought
got
it
you.
to me.
Yeah. So what you're telling me that before this event you didn't go because you
No,
were
I went
happy.
periodically.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. Now, in the beginning, I went, okay, the first year, I went to meetings like 2 or 3 meetings a week. By then,
Mm,
my life changes. So I got to accommodate how my life has changed. Then it's maybe a couple of meetings every 90 days or 6 months or whatever. And then I found myself, I look up and I go, I ain't been to a meeting in 2 years, and I'll go to one just for the sake of it, just to check and keep myself sane. And it's a reminder because one of the things is treatment will tell you, and I've been going through taking people to treatment centers and over the years and signing them in and all this stuff. And a really good treatment center will keep telling these people, keep your feet under those tables, because the minute you think you don't need those tables is the minute you get complacent and you drop your guard. And now your sobriety is out there to be challenged.
but you see, I want to show you something. You said that you wake up and you were tired and you drove 5 hours, right?
That's right, because I'm her
Sure.
sponsor. She asked me to be her
Yes,
sponsor.
but
I'm her
because you
sponsor.
want to give back, you want to help people, right? That's why you do that, right? You've been there and nobody was there for you. So you want to be the person that you didn't have when you need it. Is that it?
Yes, that's what sponsors do. Sponsors
Uh-huh.
sponsors are the people you call when you feel like you want to use before you use. Sponsors are the people you call when you fall off the wagon. Sponsors are the people that come and drag your ass out of a dope house if they worried about you enough. Or off the corner at the liquor store. That's what sponsors do. You call them for help. You won't be judged.
Right. Yes. 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 I want to do that. I'm not willing to say I'm an addict. It's like, this is what I did with my past because this is how I felt and this is how I check out. Everybody has their cross to bear, right? I had mine. So if you're okay with this, good. If you're gonna judge me or think that I'm still that person, we need to get apart. That's simple.
Why you think I hung up on my daughter when she said what she said? I was done talking to her. It's like, bye. Didn't even say bye. Hung up. You
Yeah, you
know,
got wiser.
because I learned a long time ago, family will screw you faster than a stranger in the street will, and I am not gonna, let that happen to me, and I am not going to let my family make me feel some type of way because I won't let you manipulate me. That's just not gonna work for me. You know, I'm also the type of parent that, hey, and I told my one child this, because that's another one that I only hear from every blue moon. And he said, "Why are you so hard on me when I ask you for stuff?" I said, "Because I don't hear from you until you need something. You don't call me up and say, 'Hey, how's the dogs? How's the
Mm-hmm.
cats? Are you still living in the same place? You don't do none of that until you need me. I am not an ATM.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? Was your mom good to you?
No,
Like,
hell no. My mother wasn't good to
okay,
none of
okay,
us.
okay, okay. So, like me also, I had an addiction in and out. I'm gonna tell you one thing, you tell me your story. I used to buy candies and I had the TV behind the car when I was stressed out, and I will give the movie to my son while I had to go and gamble some. That's what I did. I'm glad that I didn't get arrested, but I did it. That's how strong was the desire to check out. I wasn't responsible. So I overcome that. I forgive myself. He forgive me also. We are adults, right? The point is this. I'm no longer that person. When I go in this place, they just want to put me back in who I used to be. I overcome that. I don't need a reminder. But what I can do, so I will never go in those places because I will never say I'm an addict. I overcome my addiction. I love myself. I want to teach that to everybody. It's just a different way to liberate people. When you say you're free, that you have no shame, that's true freedom. So if somebody want to judge me or mistreat me for the wrong that I made right, because all my mistake is I didn't keep my word, but I pay everything, even Uncle Sam. You understand? Because the stuff that you do and have to clean up once you get out of addiction, I don't wish on nobody. And I wish that if I can save the pain for younger generation that they carry this pain like I did, that they choose different. So I don't think that that's the place that I choose for myself or even for my children, if that ever happened. That will not be the advice, but that's what they want for their life, then be it. But me, no. That's it. But boy, 30 years. I wish that one day I'm here on a live if TikTok ever exists, but I will be here because I'm healthy. So I'm gonna dance on the table in 95. Then I'm gonna say, you know what? 30 years. 30 years. I wanna say that. So thank you for that. It's possible. You show me that it's possible. However you did it, I applaud you and I want to be you. I want to say exactly what you said. I want to say 30 years since I give my life away to the slots. So how much you build in that 30 years? Tell us the good part. What did you achieve because you're a business owner? Tell me about your new self.
What
I
I
want to know
achieved
the
in
good.
30 years was um, I owned my first home when I was 18, and I was on the cusp of losing it. Um, I had, I think, 7 or 8 years paid into the mortgage, and at that time, the house was only $40,000. But I was behind several mortgage payments, and the reason was because I kept lying to myself about how I could make up this money next month, or if I worked these extra
I know.
hours.
I know. Yep. I did that too. I was lying to myself when I was gambling those electric bill and water bill. I was gonna win. I'm sorry. It's funny because you see, I can laugh about myself. I'm no longer there, you know? So it's not wrong for me laughing about me, right? It's not awkward. Am I awkward about laughing about my addiction? Question, Kevin.
No, I feel like you doing that's how how it's supposed to be. Like I said, the past is the past. You know what I'm saying? The whole thing is you want to be free from your past as best as you
Yeah,
can. But like I said, it's a mentality thing. That's all it is.
it's true. I
So
laugh.
anyway, the long story of it is, what have I accomplished? I went to school so that I could become a get a different government job because I was working for USDA, and then my husband died after I got married and he died, and I had to put my life back together, and I was raising 6 kids, and so I had to figure out how to raise them, and my mother was a mean, nasty individual, and she ruined many people's lives. And it took me several years of therapy because everybody kept telling me that's your mother and you should abide by that.
Mm.
Except I had the kind
Mm.
of mother that would tell you to jump off the Empire State Building, and she loves you and she knows damn well you're going to fall 80 stories and go splat, right?
Mm.
So
Mm.
with that therapy, I finally hit a psychiatrist that gave me the tools and said, here's all the drama you've had, mother or no mother. This woman is not good for you, and she is not good for your children. Go move on with your life. And until then, um,
Do you
I
talk to your mother?
no, my mother passed away in 2020, and that caused another whole set of problems
You
because
know what? I happened the same thing to me. But you know what? I love my mother and I forgive my mother. Did you forgive your mother?
no, and I
You
never
see?
will, and it don't
Oh,
bother me, and I don't care. So,
We
mm,
getting
what I
somewhere.
now we
will
This a
get
say,
lot of
it.
this stuff is making
Yeah.
sense now.
You
what
A
it
see?
will
lot of
say,
this, not this is making sense. A lot
what
of
I
it, and I
will
can't. I
say
hope you. I
Mm,
hope I
is
see you Saturday.
what
Saturday,
I
man.
will say is this. My mother taught me one thing, and she taught it inadvertently. She didn't realize what she did teach me. When I was a child, um, I grew up in a house where this week she's dating Kev. Next week she's dating King. 2 months from now she's dating Billy. So who I left when I went to school on Monday morning, I may not come back Monday afternoon after school and that guy is there. I watched the manipulation. I watched her sell her body. I heard her. I saw the abuse from some of these men. And she had some good men that literally I can't tell the story of how I was touched or any of that. But what I can say is this: watching all that growing up, it made me do one thing, because a lot of times we got put out of the house, and she would put us out. She didn't care where you went. She'd lock the door and we'd sit on the porch because we ain't got nowhere to go. And I would sit there and tell my brothers, when I grow up, I'll never treat my boyfriend like that. I always said boyfriend because I didn't have any idea of a husband. But I knew that I did not want to treat men the way I saw her treat them. And
okay.
so
Can I
that
can I ask you
negativity
something?
was a
No, no,
positive for
I
me.
know.
That negativity was a positive for me. So when I got married, my husband pursued me. And when I married him, I learned how to be a good wife. I didn't have a problem with my mouth chatter, 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 chatter when he said something. He was 17 years older than me. And so he taught me what it was to be a housewife. He taught me what it was because I was 20, 21, and he went through my addiction and stuff with me too. And he stood by me. And when he got sick, I stood by him. Okay. So I learned what it was to be submissive and to be helpful and to be nurturing to my husband, because he was all those things and more to me. My grandparents were the same way. My grandmother died when she was 89. My grandfather married her. He was 19 and she was 14. I have 10 uncles and 9 aunts, and my mother makes the 10th girl. And none of those siblings are twins or triplets. They are single births. So there are 20 children through them. Okay. So I learned the value of a relationship from a man. No, I learned it from my mother. I learned it from my grandmother and my grandparents because I wanted the type of life that they had. I wanted the type of marriage that they had. And I never seen them
Okay.
fight.
I have a
So
question.
that's
How
how I
was your
learned to
mom
be
like?
who I
How
am.
how how was your mom raised? How was your mom
She wasn't
raised?
raised like she kept running away from home. My mother was one of the black sheep.
Okay, we're getting to
She was
something,
one of the
right?
black sheep. She kept
One
running
other
away from
question. I'm
home.
not done.
She didn't want to finish
I
high
wanna.
school.
I'm getting somewhere. Please, please. One more question. When if I met your daughter down the street and she doesn't know that I know you, and I just ask, "Hey, how's your mother?" Because I don't know that you guys are not talking. Do you think that she's gonna talk good about you, or she's gonna talk bad about you?
Which
No.
daughter?
Well, the one that you don't talk to.
um, it depends on, well, you said, if you said, how is your mother? She probably would say she don't know. She probably would not say nothing bad or
And then
good.
I'm
She
gonna
probably would
ask
say
her
she
why you
don't know.
don't know, because
Why would
I'm
she?
nosy.
Okay, then she would say, because I don't talk to her.
But why?
You have to ask her that, because my daughter
Mm.
likes to keep drama and I don't.
Ah, listen, and I tell you this with love. You know why I know that my daughter will be back? Because I forgive my mother. My mother said that she forgive her mother, but she didn't. So the day that I forgive her, because remember, my mother had it worse than me, and that's a true. That's a fact. And when I was a teenager, and and I told her, the pain that she made me go through, she was rebuttaling, but I give you more than I ever did. And to me, I felt offended. It's like, what did you do? And when she told me the life that she had and the abuse, I was so angry at her. It's like, so because you were abused, you thought it was a good thing to do it to me. But I was not seeing her love. When she didn't make me go through the stuff that she went through, she raised me. Her mother abandoned her. She was circumcised as a young girl. She didn't do that to me, even though she believed in her religion. So, and the same I did for my kids, because I said, well, I never hit you guys. Why you don't talk to me, girls? Because I tried the best, but I didn't do a good job. And that's the truth. Did that stop me from loving them unconditionally? Not, but I need to speak truth. So you will find out that the day that you start to see why your mother was, then condemning her and have that feeling, your daughter will turn around because it's energy. You give what it's like you get what you give. It's true. You forgive your mother, and your mother will, and your daughter will be back. I believe
No, my
that.
daughter isn't
Hey,
going to forgive any of us. And I
hey,
will
Yes.
but
tell you, I, I will say this,
let me.
and I'll let it go. You don't know the whole story, and I am not making excuses. I can't speak for somebody else. I stand
No.
on the principles I stand on, and I always have, and I'm not
Okay.
changing those principles based
I
on
like this.
what you say. And so here's the deal. My daughter, she is angry because she manipulated a man, and she thought that we all should lie and help her ruin him. Our relationship was fine until then. And so she had implants in her arms. Everybody knew that when she met Matt made it very clear, you have one marriage. Happy with that. I'll give that child the world, but I do not want children. She had 2 years of dating this man, another year of living with this man, and if she wanted children, she should have made it known. And so she said she was happy. At her wedding, I asked her, before she went down that aisle, I said, are you sure you're okay with not having any more children? I am good, Mom. I am good. And we loved each other. We did. But then a year and a half later, she went behind her husband's back and had the implants taken out and gave him a child that he never asked for. And so I will tell you what he did. That hurt him so bad. He went and had his parental rights taken away. So she don't have to he don't have to pay child support or anything else. He disavowed that child. So now you got a child you're stuck with that you tried to trick a man with. And why did she try to do that? Because Matt had 20 years in the service and he was about to retire. And she wanted to make sure she glommed onto that. Now, if you tell me that I'm supposed to let her hurt another individual maliciously and let her condemn this man to 18 years of child support when he made a conscious decision, and she did too, then I'm sorry. Then she can keep on hating me because what she did was wrong. And if you think I'm going to get in a court of law and say, yes, Matt wanted children, Your Honor, I am not. I don't care if it's my child. I don't care if it's Jesus Christ. If she wrong, she's wrong. And she was
So
wrong. And so because of that, she got mad and she has disowned pretty much all of us because we all got sworn in court and we all knew, even some uncles and aunts, that that man did not want any children. And so on those grounds, the judge divorced her in the same school, said you are no longer responsible for this child. Have his name stricken from the birth certificate. So that is why she is angry with me.
so we getting somewhere now. I like it, man. This is making a lot of sense now. I love this stuff, man. It makes sense, and that's why I sit here and listen, man. So it kind of makes sense why we not seeing eye to eye on that other thing we were just talking about, though. So my thing I'm about to say is like, I don't know if you're gonna like me at the end of this thing, because the one thing is I always talk about this was what my live is mainly about. There's three things because I feel like this is the things that's holding us all back. Is our ego, right? We don't know how to put our ego to the side sometimes. Accountability, right? And the third thing is emotional control. So that's the three things you're gonna always hear when I'm in this room and stuff. So I would say, because I would get deep on this, but I'm limited on time. I'm gonna say, like, if you want to come Saturday, right? Because I talk about grudges and forgiveness. This is perfect right here. Talk about grudges and forgiveness every other Saturday and stuff, because like I said, it's a chain, it's a whatever, you know what I'm saying? So uh first
I
off,
hope I
I already know
catch
I
that.
already probably know your answer already, but are you even trying to figure a way to how to forgive
Who are you asking?
you
Who to forgive who?
in general? You want to do you want to forgive in general, or
I
figure a
let that
way
shit
out?
go a long time ago, sweetie. I let it go. I don't have any grudges. I talk to my
Nah, I
grandkids.
can't.
I
The
talk to
thing
my
is, I hear
daughter.
a lot of the way people talk
Well,
and stuff. So I mean, you can't really pull that over me.
what I get pissed off about is when somebody's trying to tell me how I need to feel about a situation when they don't know the whole situation. Do I, yes, I would, as I have done. But I will not sit by and idly let somebody hurt another person, not even her. And she set out to hurt that
Yeah,
man.
I can tell you ain't let it go to the way you just said that though. You said you let it go, but then you said that
It's my
you can't
conviction
tell me how
about
to
it.
feel
It's
about it,
my
but
conviction.
you can hear the hurt in your voice though. I can hear it.
You know, I wasn't even that close to the man. The only few times I met him was when she, a couple times going to her house, and getting her ready for her marriage, her wedding, and a couple of times after that, and that was it. But
So, hang on a second. So you mean to tell me that this man that had the child with your daughter was her husband?
yes,
Okay.
And so why did he even get married
I
if he
guess
didn't
they,
have a
I
plan
guess
to
they
start a
loved each other,
family?
but she had a
No, he could
child.
have done like you, just do the little sign
Well, at
paper
that
and
time,
say
I didn't
like,
even know about that. I did not know about that. I just learned about that in the last 15 years.
oh, okay.
Just learned about
'Cause-
that, the
So
whole situation. Um,
so
but
we going I'm gonna
it's
take you out the
my
hot seat a
passion.
little bit, man.
No,
So
it's
I'm just
fine.
gonna
It's my passion about it because one of my biggest pet peeves in this world, Kev, and it hurts my heart, and so it's close to me, is people who are in a position, don't matter who you are, people who are in a position to help somebody and they won't. They will turn a blind eye. Just like we were talking about the videos where we watch somebody get stomped and nobody called 911. That hurts me. And so I have a protective nature. You can call it hurt, you can call it whatever you like. I'm good with it. But do I have a grudge against my daughter? Absolutely not. If she called
but
me right now and said, take my girl, live here, if she needed a place to stay, I would let her lay her head. But
But can
I
I say
just
one
wouldn't. I
thing?
love her. I
I
can't
don't,
stand by
I
watching somebody
really,
get hurt.
when you explain me that to watch a man get stomped and don't act on it, you go into court and testify for your daughter husband that he didn't want the child. Me, if I was the mother, maybe before that I went to therapy and I get more knowledge, I'm not getting involved between a husband and a wife. Even if that's my, I always told my son
I
and
got
my
a
daughter,
subpoena.
if you
I got
bring
a
me a
subpoena. The
son,
judge don't
don't
care
put me
about
in the
that.
middle.
I got a subpoena. And the subpoena says you're going to get on this witness stand and tell the truth. And whichever side subpoenas you first, that's who you got to appear in court with. So I got a subpoena because I wasn't going to get in the middle of it. I really wasn't. But I'm not going to avoid a subpoena and risk going to jail either. I had other kids to think about and raise. And so did her other siblings that did the same thing. We had all agreed we weren't going to get in the middle of it.
If
Hey,
I really love a person and I would not have put you in that situation. I don't know about your son-in-law. That's
that's
all
not
I'm
limited.
saying. Right?
But this whole
It's like, who
discussion
does
about
that?
That's all.
forgiveness.
Just about to let you talk real quick, yeah, because they about to go back and forth for a long time.
Well, the whole thing about forgiveness is why I wanted to jump in, because this came to me in a dream about my mother. I've been
Right.
having these weird, crazy bad dreams about her, and I usually don't remember my dreams unless it means something. And the thing that came to me was, I forgive her for, I loved my mother. I worshiped my mother, and she stayed with my molester. She chose him over me. And that was really hard to forgive. And I thought, yeah, I forgave that. And then I started having these feelings and dreams, and I kept thinking of, forgive those as we want to be forgiven. So am I really forgiving her? Am I still holding that hurt, that bitterness in my heart? Is that the way I want God to forgive me?
Right.
And it started scaring me, enough to where I
So since
thought,
oh my bad.
you
Go
know what
ahead.
I mean? I do
Yeah.
forgive her.
Yeah.
I love her. I love her and I
Yeah.
forgive her, but I'm still holding on to that little grudge. And I'm doing the same thing with her
But is
grandson, my
it a
nephew.
grudge? Is it a grudge or it's the truth? You have the right to speak your truth. It's not a
Well, it
grudge.
affected my whole life. It affected everything about me. It may help make me,
Right.
shape me. And I don't want to
Right.
change myself. I don't know why God made what happened. I don't say he made
Exactly.
everything happen, but
Oh,
he
you got the
allowed it
art.
to
I like
happen.
you. I like that. You got the art. That's
You
what
know
I
what
was
I'm
about to
saying?
get to. Yeah, there you go.
You know what I'm
See, that's how
saying?
you.
I don't
There
know
you
what his
go.
plan is for
Yes.
me. So
Yes.
whatever his plan is, I am now where he wants me to be. So, uh,
Exactly. I likes
he
that.
might
I
have
like.
used all that to shape
And
me.
you
So
also get a
I
follower.
can't hold it all against my naive, too young mother who wanted love, and I prayed for her to have it and stayed around when let it happen, and didn't tell her because I didn't want her heart broke. But when she found out the truth, and she didn't believe me, and then she allowed it, then she found out it was true, and then she still allowed it to happen to my sisters. And
Mm-hmm.
so, it was hard to forgive. It was for me to forgive the molester than her,
Yeah. I
because
think
she
on this
was my
word you got to
mother.
say essay or something like that. But
You know what
let
I
me,
mean?
since we own it, then I got 20 minutes, right? No, I'll just say you gotta say that because we don't want to get bananas. I don't think they let that word go on here. They
Oh,
banned
I'm
you for
sorry.
saying it. Yeah, I'm just
I'm
saying,
We
just
need
sorry.
in
to
general.
help.
You just want to say
I'm
essay
just
or so. Yeah,
saying.
they got cold words. You gotta talk weird on here sometimes. But
I
so
don't
since
know
we
how else
talking
to
about it,
say
let's
it.
ha. Since we talk about it, then right. So let me give you some others, because like I said, it's all about point of view and all that stuff. Of course, I can understand. I'm not gonna probably get through to you, especially your first time meeting me, right? But that's just up to you, because at the end of the day, a lot of times people can't handle certain situations. Because, like I said, I'm more of trying to just get people to break these chains that's on them, right? Because as long as you hold on to them, you gonna be we can talk it how much we want to do that we let something go and you know what I'm saying. But like I said, it's just it's an internal thing. It ain't no words. It's an internal thing, and we only know ourselves most of the time if we really let something go or not. So I look at it this way, and if we don't want to say if nobody don't believe in God, right? So I'll be saying that the thing is, even with forgiveness, a lot of times people don't know how to forgive because they didn't forgive themselves for many different things, right? So it got to start off with self first. And then you got to realize that every human express themselves different. Their mentality is different. And a lot of the times we always put our eyes and think that our eyes is supposed to be, oh, I wouldn't do it, so you shouldn't have did it. No, that's what we mess ourselves with that entitlement mentality too. That's another thing I'll be trying to tell people about because this is getting serious with the entitlement mentality. We think that we owe this, we deserve this, and all this stuff. Like all this stuff is like it's really damaging us more than anything, right? But it's damaging us. But it's like we got to realize that all humans gonna make mistakes, and just because life don't go the way we wanted to go, right? That don't mean that that's not supposed to be part of life. I mean, I always tell people that I don't even think our life is supposed to be only for us. It's how it impacts us and the things that done to us, right? Just really think about this part. If it is like I said, what I mentioned before, which probably went over the head, right? I said most of the time it's for us to learn from, adapt, or overcome. You know what I'm saying? It's really them three things. So anything that happened in our life is for that. Because, like, of course, we want life to work the way we want to, but look at it this way: it's people that go through way worse situations. Some people not even alive today to even tell their story, right? And the fact that you are alive today to say anything, that's a blessing. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, a lot of times to overcome certain situations, it's just really just changing your point of view. And that's the only reason why I mentioned that thing from earlier and stuff. I like the simple words is really change. It's all about the way we talk to ourselves. Like I said, it probably ain't gonna register not because I understand that you was deep in your situation and whatever. But it's all about the point of view. No matter how we want to look at it. If we look at negatives, all we're gonna see is negative. If we look at positives, all we're gonna see is not positives. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, it's just all about giving grace. We got to give grace with ourselves first. We got to, you know what I'm saying? But we got to learn how to learn that we make mistakes, learn that we are humans and all humans. Like I said, every human, and we all want the same thing, but a lot of stuff we do a lot of stuff because we just trying to survive. You know what I'm saying? It's out of survival, and people do anything out of survival. You know what I'm saying? But just because that it might have stepped on your toe for a certain, that's why you can't really trust humans just in general. But it's just being realistic. It ain't no like me and pain or something. It's just realistic because anybody can make a mistake, especially with people with feelings. They can make a mistake. We all got feelings. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like a lot of times we take a lot of stuff personal, but it's like a lot of times that stuff that happened to us is because it's somebody either projecting themselves on us or a certain way, especially if somebody yell us, cussing us out. It's just them projecting. Or a lot of times it's just some people just ain't got it all in the head. That's all it is. And I look at it as if you are the bigger person, if you know that why is my tongue like it's glitching like crazy? What the freak? If you know you're the bigger person, right? Sometimes you got to be the person that walk away from a certain situation or just let go of a certain situation and realize everybody don't got it all in the head. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure your mother probably tried their best from what they
Oh, I
felt.
feel
You know what I'm saying?
guilty.
Just
I
like
feel guilty. I feel very
yeah,
guilty for having that little stone there.
yeah.
I made an appointment and I need to keep that appointment because I have information for another live that I was put in charge of and I'm being summoned to that live. So I need to let you go. I thank you for your time.
Okay.
Um um the
Thank
lady
you for
above me,
sharing.
the lady above me, thank
Tiziana, you can
you
call me
for
too. I'll make it easy for you.
Tiziana, okay,
Yes.
for thank you. But I gotta go.
Yes.
Because I have, like I said,
Thank,
I have information, and I knew this live was coming up for 2 days,
yes.
so they're
But
on
make
live
sure
and
that
they're
you come
sending me
Saturday if you
messages.
can. If you can, trying to come Saturday.
I am. What time Saturday, Kevin?
Uh-oh.
About 10 p.m. I be getting on late sometimes on Saturdays.
10
Yeah, I get on
p.m.
late because I be staying up all
p.m.
night. Huh?
p.m.
Yeah,
p.m.
that might be sleep.
I think we already following each other. Or it says subscribe.
Okay,
But so yeah, I'm following you. So if you can send me a share, because there's no telling what I'll be doing at 10 p.m. But there are times if I am sleeping
for
because I
sure.
had a long day, I will wake up out of my sleep because there's no telling what I got going on. I can't foresee a week
For
from now.
sure. For sure.
So let
Yeah.
For
me go.
sure. I
We'll
got you.
talk to you guys later. Thank
Have a
you.
good
All right,
night.
for sure.
I'm
Yeah.
fixing to have to go to work myself.
Oh
Really?
yeah.
So how are you? Do I know you?
Maybe, I don't know.
Did we talk
She one of
before?
my she actually one of my content supporters though. She it's her second time being in my live though, or third time. Yeah, third or
No,
fourth time, something
I've
like
only
that.
only been
But
here
she
once accidentally. One other time.
oh right.
Don't say that.
Right, yeah.
You
So
might be
she
working
been
with
she I think
somebody
she's seen
like
my
me.
content more.
I'm joking. No, but I really love you see, your lives are beautiful, they're really helpful. And then it's always worked perfectly because I heard her and I saw myself and I saw I was, and then it's like, and sometimes I just smile. It's like, Tiziana, you need to shut up. You know, you decide to see another way at age 50, and and sometimes I used to beat myself. Like, why so late? I want to wake up everybody, but sometimes we're just ready to understand the language and become wise when it's time. Not all the apple come down from the tree at the same time, right? Not everybody
Right.
mature, not all right? So
That's
we need
interesting.
to, yeah,
Every age is different. Age ain't really got nothing to do with it. It's just all about mentality and when
Yeah,
you
the
ready to
mental
be
age.
receptive of things and maturity.
yes.
That's all. I
I
look
see
at
we
it
got
whatever
completely
time
off
you got
topic
your
anyway.
huh?
I see
No,
you
I
got as
remember
why
what
is
you
the only
said.
time we unite is when other races do something to us.
Yeah, no, I remember
Right.
what you say when you came on the live and you says like forgiveness is a big thing, It's like, what am I gonna say to God? It's like, that was deep, my friend. So I pay attention. It's not changing topics if you pay,
No, oh
it's
well,
like you
it
will
was just
learn.
something that y'all were talking about forgiveness, and it's just something that's been
Yeah,
really bothering me.
yeah.
It's
Oh,
not that I
I need to
don't.
see
I
you
Everybody.
Saturday too.
Yeah.
I do this every because I know this is the reason why a lot of us our traumas, right? All of our reasons why we got certain things against certain situations are reason. Like I said, that's why I can talk about this. I'm gonna talk about this for the rest of the year because I'm about to be on part 10 now. Uh, on Saturday or something like that because I realized that is one of the biggest problems why a lot of us is not moving forward because we still held back from whatever happened to us probably when we was a
and
kid or a teenager or
it's
something like
hard
that.
for us to empathize that with each other too.
Yep. Yep. And I just try to give
And can I
multiple
say
point of views.
something
Sometimes I
deeper?
get people in here that
Uh,
might have experienced the same things as everybody else and they probably give
Well,
another
that's
point of
just
view
the
for
thing,
people
man. I've
yes,
to
been through
relate.
Kevin.
so many
But this
crazy things.
time,
I've told you, I could tell you things that would curl your hair, the things I've been through. But I tell you what, then I
right?
turn around and I find out somebody's story that's even worse than mine.
Exactly.
So, so
Exactly.
Exactly,
we've all been
exactly.
through some stuff,
That's what I'm saying.
So
That's what I'm saying.
back
If you
on
think
the
you the worst of the
Saturday.
worst, you probably will never grow out of it. And that's what I'm
Yes,
saying. Or if somebody on the same level, they can literally probably talk you up out of these chains. People don't think this stuff is as damaging. It's very damaging. But people don't live their life this way. But you, like I said, you could tell in the way somebody talk, the way they react to different things, how they get triggered and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? You could tell when somebody let something go or not. That's why I say it's kind of hard to pull it over on me because I done did this. Now like I said, I'm on number 10 now with the grudges and
the
forgiveness. And this stuff is
point that
repetitive to me. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, but have you ever been to therapy? Have you ever been to therapy yourself?
Never been to therapy.
Okay, they teach you, literally. They teach you it is okay
I
to
bet,
don't
man,
forgive
I've
them.
been
It's
locked up in a
okay
nut
not to
house. What are you
talk to
talking
them.
about?
But you
Wait,
know
say
what I mean?
what? Say it
They
again.
really when
I
you
said,
go
I've
to
been locked
therapy,
up, man. I was diagnosed paranoid schizophrenic with delusions of grandeur. So
Right.
I've seen people, but I'm completely, operational now. You know,
Mhm.
it's not a line I want to cross again. It's hard to explain what being insane is. So
oh,
Yeah.
it's very easy to explain. Is the thing that you went through? Let me tell you something, please,
I had a
because I
mental
do
break.
love you. I love
But
you. It's like to have
I
your
still
mother
believe
not
that some of the
protect
things
you.
I
It
saw were
must be terrible.
supernatural. I believe they were real. I don't care if people call me crazy. Weird things happened.
I don't.
So,
You're good.
I don't care. I can't make people believe it, but if they
Right.
want to, then oh, fine,
But
Yeah.
I love your resilience. And I love the fact that you start to look within yourself the meaning of true forgiveness. So I'm happy for that. Because that's a
So
tough
what you
one.
were saying, Tiziana, you said that they taught you not to forgive?
When you go
What?
to therapy, when you
Right.
oh, really, they tell you, yeah, you went through a lot and you had the right not to talk to them. You don't need to
Oh,
stay in the same room. And,
that's different.
but the point is this. People literally, when you try to help somebody and they turn at you and you say, why you treat me like that? And you ask them, what did you understand I said? And what you were trying to say, they didn't understand. They, like the Bible, they take a few words and they run with it and they miss the point, right? So is with therapy. Even if the therapist say, it's like you cannot get healed if in the time that you're healing, you stay in the same place that create the pain. That's how I understood. It's not
Right.
like
Hey, the one counselor that I did have, the last one was a DUI counselor,
right,
and I had to be, abstinent for 30 days. And anyway, it turned out for the
right.
good. I stopped drinking. I still drink every now and then, but I was an everyday alcoholic. Anyway, she told me, you've been through so much and you need more help than I can give you. And she was just there for the money. She used to leave somebody else in charge to go to her daughter's games. I mean, it was a joke. And so has every other person that's ever tried to get me. Nobody gets me.
Nobody
It
care.
doesn't,
You felt that nobody care. Everybody had their life.
I
I know,
mean,
I know.
it doesn't matter. It doesn't bother me anymore. I just grateful for every day I wake up and try to make the most of it. I try to
I
be
like your
kind to people.
honesty. It doesn't bother me anymore. You're
It
admitted that
doesn't.
it bothered you, yeah. But it
It
did
doesn't.
bother.
I mean,
It
I can
used.
if I want to. I notice coincidences, and I don't believe in coincidence. And I see prayers answered. I see things happen, and whether
I
somebody
don't
wants to believe
believe in
in that, it's
mistakes.
it's yeah, it's you're right to believe however you want, you know. But anyway, I do believe.
And we can coexist. I don't have to believe in what you believe in order to love you. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Exactly, exactly. That matter of fact, it's I'm commanded to love everybody, even the worst, and it's hard to do. I
Right.
try to imagine them as somebody's baby, you know. So it helps to do that. That person was once a little baby crawling around to their mama, or maybe not but they were a baby once.
You know, you know a reason why I say that though, why I don't believe in mistakes, because I think we could say that when our parents had us, we was a mistake. But it's obviously supposed to be here, right? It's some reason why
There's a
we here.
reason for everything, my friend. A reason for
That's why I
everything.
said it's a reason for everything. It's literally a
It's
reason for
not for us
everything.
to question why, but for us to do or
Exactly.
die. Well, do
Exactly.
and
Most
die
definitely.
at least
Most
once.
definitely. Hmm.
We're all
And,
gonna
and
die once.
Tiziana, what you was saying about you said that so that I wouldn't say just because you don't talk to somebody, that don't
So,
mean you didn't
so
forgive
some
them. You
people,
know.
some people, they listen the same therapist that I went, And after overcome the therapy, doing good, they still have the resentment. And to
Right.
me, that is more harmful
That's
that
it.
it can get you to go back to addiction. It's
Right.
anger, stress are things that we need to avoid. They put into us to don't let us navigate to our power.
Right. Talk about
She
you
was
could forgive
mentioning,
somebody. You ain't gotta be with them or talk to them. But I like
yeah,
as long as you got no resentment, right? Or you found a way to, because like I know it's some people that like it's stuff like that's why I like the forget part. I get what they try to say about forget. It's basically like let it go, but you can't really like mentally forget it for real because anything that happened in your life, you just ain't gonna forget it. But I'm like, it's just basically to let you know, like it's something that happened with my family and stuff. It's like I realize there's some people you just can't hang around. You can't be around no matter what. You know what I'm saying? But it don't mean that I don't forgive them, right? It's an internal thing, but it's not like I'm just gonna punch you or I'm gonna try my best. You know what I'm saying? Not to, but it's just like basically like, yeah, I can probably stay, and it's all about how you, if you did encounter them, you could be like, hey, I hope y'all having a good, and then just get on. You know what I'm saying? Just go ahead and move on and stuff, instead of just reacting and because you realize it's just some people in your life that you just can't kick with, just like exes and all that stuff. You just can't kick with. You're not my type of person. We're not on the same level. That's all it is. That's how you look at it in a different way. You can forgive, but that don't mean you don't have to. I mean, that don't mean you have to talk to a person. That's all I'm saying, or be around them for
I
your
and
still
own
want to
then
be
health.
around my sister.
for Saturday, please, before I forget, I'm sorry, I didn't mean Saturday. If I'm coming, because this is so interesting, forgiving. That's what I really have challenged to make people understand. One thing that I notice in those kind of lives, the people have competition. Who got hurt the most and who
Right. You.
feeling is more valid. You need to get that because if I hear that in the life, I'm out because I'm not here
Oh,
to
you gonna hear it
argue.
a lot though, but you gotta get. I already hear that a lot anyways though. That's how people try to do the debunk from forgiving themselves. But like at the end of the day, if you don't want to forgive, you only really hurting yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's why
Yeah.
I even asked. That's why I asked. Oh, even though I don't know if she gonna come or not, because I don't know. Like I said, everybody knows about that anyways. But I can't. Me myself, you learn this. I'm not. I never could get along with just, and I'm not trying to say she was like that, but I'm saying with the victim mentality, right? Because I'm all about growth. You know what I'm saying? But if you come with 100 excuses and I'm trying to find a way to move us forward, we won't be able to we say we wouldn't be able to see eye to eye for real because it's like I'm big on resolution and solution. I'm a solution based. I mean, we can cry about stuff all day in the back of the day. Of course, stuff is sad. We know things going down. If I watch the news, there's something sad on there every day. But it's like, what is this doing for my life right now? What's this doing for others' life? You know what I'm saying? How we gonna be able to move forward, move a whole different way, or you know what I'm saying, go around certain situations like that instead of keep on talking about the past. Like I said, I'm big on
Same
trying to
old
let
thing
go of the
all the time.
past. Huh?
The same old thing all the time.
Man.
Just rehashing the same thing.
Yeah. Well, it
Okay.
depends because sometimes I use my past on the life. I'm writing a book, but when people challenge me, like, well, you didn't suffer like me, and sometimes, oh, really? You wanna go there? But
As I said,
I,
don't
I
you can't fall
that
into that though, because if you confident, because you know people gonna do that though, but it's not a competition. You if as long as you know
no.
you ain't got to worry about it. You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
here
But
to
that's
heal my pain, and
yeah,
this is how
exactly.
I did it.
That's their way of not letting go, but that's more pain on them. Like I said, if they want to do that, like, oh, you ain't go through what I go through. Well, at the end of the day, is you trying to figure a way out. Otherwise, we not about to play this tit for tat game. That's the thing. We not about to do that. You know what
Some
I'm
people
saying?
just
But
need an outlet, you know?
yeah,
Some people
yeah.
need an
Yeah.
outlet. They want somebody to hear. I found out one great outlet is
A
art.
panda room.
I recommend it to everybody. Okay, girl, you can do something. You can make something with your hands, and it is so therapeutic.
And use their
And
hands
it's, I
any
mean,
other
you can put
way.
all your pain in there. You know, you can write poetry, you can paint pictures, you can
Right.
make something with your hands, something. You know, and then you got that little thing there. You
Are
know,
you an
and then
artist?
you want to
Do
do
you
another one.
paint?
As soon as you do that one, you want to do another one.
BJ, do you
It's just
paint?
really good.
Are you an
I
artist?
do all kinds. I do everything, man.
I know.
Like I said,
You
whatever
know,
we can do, whatever we want to do, though. That's why I try to let people know, like whatever you adjust your mentality, even though it might be hard, but it's not impossible. That's kind of what I was trying to explain. But it's like I said, I already realized what I was getting to with this situation. But I'm like, dog, it's everything is literally mental. The way you adjust your mental and fix it, you just got to figure it out. You got to listen to other point of views. You have to, because like I said, that's that ego, right? Ego will tell us, no, you can, and you got to stay what it is, and you can't tell me this because I went through these many years. I literally just had a live about that too some days ago. Like, but if you got that mentality, that means you're trying to be stuck at where you at. But it's going to take a while to realize how precious life is. If stuff is really worth it, do I want to live my life the
amen,
rest of this way like
amen.
that? That's when people want to wake up then. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
it's like,
don't waste that time.
don't waste that time, right? That's why I try to get people to break that chain as early as you can. As early as you can. It's not trying to say, oh, it's not that easy. You know, I understand that, but we got to break these chains. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm big on motivation. That's what I done set myself up. I'm trying to be, because I had to do that with my own life, right? I'm not gonna tell anybody different. I just can't do it. It's just not in me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like either you're gonna play. That's why I won't be able to get along with like victim mentality, because they rather sit back all day and make 100 excuses. I'm done with excuses. Excuses don't get us anywhere in life, and people gonna understand that. Complaining or excuses just don't get us anywhere in life. To say we can cry about something all day for 10 days. What is the heck? We just wasted 10 days crying and didn't do nothing about it to move forward. We just want somebody to hear us. You know what I'm saying? How long can we sit to mourn?
And this is the more terrible part, okay? I had to cut off relationship with this friend that she had lung cancer. And when the part that I said I'm out, is when I bought her a bottle of black seed oil, tell her to start taking that and trying to see if she can cut off. And I told her, well, this first bottle you can have it. It's my gift on you. But it's gonna cost you about $50 just to take this supplement to help you fighting. And you know what she told me? She cannot afford it. Yet she had 2 packs of cigarettes. I'm so tired of those people, and I feel either I'm crazy or they are. So I'm done. That's where I realize, like, if they cannot do 2 plus 2
Everybody
and
don't want to be
understand that.
saved.
Mm-hmm.
I learned that though. I've
Exactly.
learned that the past couple months. Everybody don't want to be saved for real. As bad as they say they want it, they don't
Yeah.
for real. Like people just want people to hold their hand the whole entire
Yeah,
time.
poor
That's
you. What can I do for you? But they don't want to help themselves. Yeah,
They don't want it.
I
They don't
know.
want it bad enough. Especially when it take changing yourself. They do not want it. What the heck? No, they don't want to hear that. That's all it is. They don't want to hear like, what? I gotta do some work. I'm used to the
Yeah.
microwave life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh man, you hit a nerve. You hit a nerve there. No fair.
Mhm.
I got an addiction. I got addiction to smoking. So yeah,
It's
Dang.
okay.
it's. I'm sorry.
Being honest first. You got to be honest first.
Well, I realize that every little teeny tiny little pain in my body, I've inflicted that on myself. So I asked for it. I got it. Whatever.
Accountability, right?
Whatever. I'm gonna keep on trudging until I drop. I don't go to doctors. I don't like doctors. I have bad experiences with doctors. I just figure when it's my time, it's time. It's time.
I feel you though.
And I thank God every day I rise up. I said thank you for another day. You know.
Mm-hmm. Got to. It's a blessing, man.
Yeah, it
You
is.
made it this far.
I'm shocked I'm still here.
That's
I feel like I've
beautiful.
Hey,
cheated death.
God still got more work with you. You know what I'm saying?
I guess I'm not done yet.
No,
I'm still going.
but I tell
I
you
just
one
got
thing.
finished
This is the
cutting a
last
tree
time I'm
off my
doing this.
house, man. I'm 61 years old and I got to put a ladder on top of my truck and got up that tree and cut it with a
I'm attracting
chainsaw.
all the 60s in here. I noticed that. It's like the third 60 today. It's a
And man,
blessing, man. It's a
I kick
blessing,
You know
butt
man.
what?
working on cars like a man. So, You know, I
And
do
that was
auto
3 different
body.
mentalities that was at 60. I just noticed that today. That's correct. That's lovely, man.
I'm an old
That's something for
tomboy,
sure.
man.
I
I'm an
can't
old
wait.
tomboy.
In 2 years,
My dad, I
you know
think
what I
my,
can't wait?
you know,
In 2 years from
here's a
now, I'm
redneck.
gonna be a
So,
senior. I'm gonna be a senior, and I cannot wait to go to McDonald's to get my 50% AARP discount. I can't
Mm.
wait.
Say can't wait. Oh my.
well, I got to go to work.
I made it.
Yeah, I'm
Love
about
you
to get
guys.
off
See
in a
you
minute
later.
too.
Bye.
So, hi.
Hey, friend, Kevin, this was beautiful. I'm gonna sleep good tonight. Thank
Oh, it's
you.
not my tap out.
Oh, you trying to get off here for sure? I'll
Oh,
catch you
there
another.
you go.
I see if
There we go.
you got it. I catch you, man. I appreciate you, man.
I,
Yeah, man. I see. We gotta get some more work done.
yes, yes.
I hope she come. I don't know if she gonna come, but I could tell like it was a lot of pushback. I don't think she gonna be. I don't think she gonna like my live. We gonna see. We'll see how
You know
God
what?
work. You know what I'm saying?
I think that it was beautiful, it was respectful, and like she planted me the seed that next time that if it happened in the future, somebody said marriage is like, no, because I'm not the only one. And look at this way, how she explained it, it make a lot of sense.
What's that?
So I hope that the way that we were trying to help her, maybe it's like it's that seed that maybe she will think when
Oh, that's why I
she's
say
by
I hope
herself.
I plant that seed though. I know she pushed back. I don't know
Mhm.
if that she made that excuse to go to the other live, but I don't know what happened though. But she probably did. I don't know. I don't know. She probably telling the truth. But hopefully we'll see her.
I think she's very intelligent woman. And you know
Yeah,
what?
she is.
Sometimes, yeah.
I
So
hear a lot of
when we
ego.
talk
Like I said,
about,
I'm observant of people. I hear a lot of ego though, for real. It's like she's setting her way, like, no, I know this, and I'm like, dang. I'm like, can you at least just try to hear me out a little bit, just a little bit? You know what I'm saying?
I used to be like that though. I used to be like that. Like when I quit something, that's why I told her, it's like when I quit the cigarette, right? I replaced an addiction to a positive addiction, right? But I
Hmm.
didn't resolve the issue that was make me go to the cigarette.
And
You know what I mean?
look, the way you
And that's
doing it
what,
though, and that's why I like it. And it showed the difference. That's crazy. Cause
mm,
man, I listened to all this. That's crazy, and I'm gonna re-listen to it over again. But I just all that got in my mind too. Cause like she was saying about the of you did it in a year, and then it seemed like that you are more recovering than how she is. It sounds like she's still fighting and fighting and fighting, and it seems like it sounds like it's hard because it's like you would think after that so many years you would be talking a little different, right? But I could tell it's something going on, and it's like I don't know, but I don't be trying to speak on
it's
too
trying
much
to
on
be,
certain
I don't,
situations. But like I
no,
said, I can just only
I'm
speak on
okay, here, I'm gonna try to explain you to make you understand. Okay, when you went through so much pain, you know, emotional, you become so, it's like in your face. It's like this is who I am, and that's how it's gonna be. And it's
right.
the energy of say I took enough, and now I'm gonna be the one that is gonna show power.
Hmm.
But when you realize that that's also a fear, and it
Hmm.
makes you become a person that you really are not,
Hmm.
that's the realization that she need to have.
Hmm.
I hope that I ask her the right question, because I'm trying to help, and by
Yeah.
asking question is like, so you want forgiveness from your daughter,
Right.
and you think she's wrong, but you're not willing to do that for your mother. Ask them the question, let them come with their own answer.
Yeah.
We're not here to prove nothing.
It sounds like she had a family of. It's like a group. It sounds like a family of non-forgiveness. That's gonna be kind of hard to talk to, but I'm gonna figure it out though. As long as she want to
You
stick
will. I
around,
know you
we'll see.
will.
I'll
I know
crack the
you will.
code.
I have faith in you, my friend.
Cause what I learned, we gonna see. What I learned though is like it's either is either like either she gonna try to figure it out or stick around, or she gonna either get irritated enough and I might not see her again. But it's like it's the gamble I'm willing to take because like I said, I'm gonna try my best to try to help whoever out for real. From just from my point of view, can, and then hopefully I get more people on my live that can. But I could hear she pushed back on every last person that was up here talking because even you had some good stuff. BJ came in here with some good stuff though, and and that's why I said I knew something was up, and I hit the right topic when I said I'm like knew it. I was like bingo. That's the reason why I'm getting so much pushback on this because I said let go of chain. I'm like oh okay I see. We gonna see though. I'm gonna see though. We gonna see. Hopefully,
And
I
I'm
want to
going to
see her
tell
though.
you
I want to
more
help
though.
her though. I do want to help.
Yeah.
I'm
And I'm going to tell
hopefully,
you more though. I
huh?
don't know her level of pain. You remember like when the girl that was here before that she just dropped, she said, "You know what? When I see somebody that had worser than me, then I feel better about myself, right?"
Yeah.
So, in my life experience, like you said, I welcome everything that because I don't know if I could have overcome going through what she had to overcome as a child.
Right.
So I'm aware of that. And that's the other thing, Kevin, is like we need to understand that and me, I'm saying this for when I say we, it's me, that learn when to let go and says like
Hmm.
I really want best for this person, but I'll
Hmm.
pray because I still want to wish them good. So
Right.
I pray that the right person will manifest in their path and heal them. Maybe I'm not equipped,
Hmm.
and that's what I have to learn. Really,
That's
really
how I
hard.
be too though. Like, cause I realize even me doing this, I'm like sometimes I'm not the person. Sometimes I am. Some days, sometimes I'm not. But sometimes I have people in my room that that might can help too. So that's the whole thing. That's what I want. But all I can do is try my best on my situation. That's why I learn a lot just by sitting here listening to just different situations and stuff, just so I can see. And then, I hear how other people recover different things and I use some I got taught by somebody else. That's the whole point. That's the whole point is us trying to learn from each other. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes sometimes people have biases just or unintentional biases sometimes, especially if it got to do with you if you look like you younger or if you know what I'm saying, if you ain't experienced it or if you or you ain't go as long as experience, you know what I'm saying? The biases get real sometimes. But the thing is that's a lot like I said, them biases come with some type of ego or something that blocks it and stuff that keep you from trying to change your mentality and all that stuff or whatever. But we'll see.
It's funny. I'm gonna share one more thing and then I'll let you go rest.
Oh yeah, I'm for
Today I
sure
was
about
on the live, right? So
who
this
that.
beautiful girl came on the live and she had an accent like me, right?
Hmm.
So because I've been travel and my mother is Somalian, I
Hmm.
recognize when a Somalian person is speaking English, right?
Right.
So without say, hey, are you Somalia? Or I know you're Somalia. I says
Hmm.
like, may I ask you a question? Because, I don't want to sound creepy or over. And he's like, I hear an accent with you, just like me. And can I guess? And you said Africa. So I said, can I guess where you're from? And she said, sure, go ahead. So I said, Somalia.
Hmm.
And we started a beautiful conversation about healing generational trauma,
Hmm.
colonization, how much she loved her mother, and how
Hmm.
much she loved her father. But it's like,
Hmm.
I love my father. I think he's a wonderful person, but in
Hmm.
moderation. It's like I'm not gonna come across like I love him like my husband. There are different loves, right? But
Hmm.
I didn't pick that one up right away, right? So we talk where she's at, where I'm at, what she's up to, what I'm up to, that she's married happily. She makes sure of that. And then in a minutes, she started to flirt with the host, right? And I'm shocked. And but this guy is very spiritual, right? He's on a mission, so he's above the carnal thing, right?
Hmm.
So when he was like, I asked her, and it just came natural. I didn't do it out of malice. So well, I understand that you're attracted by him, but I wonder what your husband think about this. She flip out like I just insult her and this and that. So I just say peace and love. I just was asking. It's like I learned to don't be drawn by those emotions. But you understand, people think that they can go on live and talk, think that to me, they're not cool. to advertise. I mean, if you do it, but be discreet, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You say you're a mother, you say you have another person. Why would you do that? But that's for another topic. This guy was telling me that she's a Jezebel from the Bible, and I don't know if I'm taken for that. Then I start to think, is like, huh? Because when you see promiscuous women that they just play on their look or their body, you know, because she made sure that she had to show with her camera how she looked like. She knows she was a beautiful woman, but she was using her assets more than her personality. You know, she knew how to. So when you see over sexuality, usually it's because the child is being abused in that way.
Mm-hmm.
So you understand what I mean? It's like then judging, go deeper and trying to understand the person. So you see, like he was trying to put her as a Jezebel. In my heart, it was like maybe she was molested. Maybe she need to go to therapy. I really true. When I see young women acting like that, I want to help them. I don't want to judge them. Truly,
Mm-hmm.
I see deeper. They don't fool me. They may fool somebody, but I am fool me.
I got a top, and my topic tomorrow is like that's what I can't wait for. I got it. So I'm just give you a little hunch before I get off this thing.
Yeah.
So the topic tomorrow is gonna be basically people that use their body to find love. So that's a hunch of it now. So
Mm.
watch it.
I'll see you
Yeah,
tomorrow night. But
it's gonna
thank
be
you
sweet.
for making my time useful in
Oh yeah, for sure.
education for
For, sure.
myself, and I hope everybody was in the live. Thank you,
Mm-hmm.
my friend. I'll see
For
you
sure, man. I
tomorrow.
appreciate you. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Have a good one.
All right, you too, man. Enjoy your day or
Yes,
night.
you
I
too.
mean, my bad. I'm about to enjoy this sleep. You know what I'm saying? But all right.